filming and selling child pornography in Michigan. These are just some of the heinous migrant criminals caught because of President Donald J. Trump's leadership. I'm Kristi Noem, the United States Secretary of Homeland Security. Under President Trump, attempted illegal border crossings are at the lowest levels ever recorded, and over 100,000 illegal aliens have been arrested. If you are here illegally, you're next. You will be fined nearly $1,000 a day, imprisoned, and deported. You will never return. But if you register using our CBP Home app and leave now, you could be allowed to return legally. Do what's right. Leave now. Under President Trump, America's laws, border, and families will be protected.
Sponsored by the United States Department of Homeland Security.
4,000 women are diagnosed with breast cancer every year in Washington state. I'm Dr. Suzette Miranda with Northwest Hope and Healing. We provide a lifeline to breast and gynecologic cancer patients. Join us at Life in Color, a brunch auction and fashion show on August 17th at the Columbia Collective in Woodinville for an unforgettable afternoon celebrating 25 years of hope and support. Get your tickets now for Life in Color on August 17th at nwhopeandhealing.org. That's nwhopeandhealing.org.
At Carter Subaru, your drive begins with savings. With over 300 new vehicles in stock, shop your way, in-store or from home. Plus, when you buy from Carter, you support our community. Visit Carter Subaru in Shoreline and Ballard today.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Steve Kathan. We're hearing from Iran's foreign minister who says there's no room for talking as long as Israel continues to attack his country.
We were attacked in the midst of an ongoing diplomatic process. We were supposed to meet with Americans on 15 June to craft a very promising agreement for peaceful resolution of the issues fabricated over our peaceful nuclear program. It was a betrayal of diplomacy.
Foreign Minister Abbas Arghachi is in Geneva meeting with European diplomats. CBS's Elizabeth Palmer has more on what French President Macron is asking for.
One is a resumption of the IAEA, the International Atomic Inspectors inspections, and also moving Iran toward net zero enrichment. He also said that there has to be oversight, or there ought to be an agreement to provide oversight and presumed limitations on Iran's missile program.
As President Trump considers possible U.S. strikes on Iran's nuclear facilities, sources tell CBS News that law enforcement officials have stepped up surveillance of Iran-backed operatives in the U.S. The Supreme Court has revived lawsuits against Palestinians from Americans killed or wounded in terror attacks. Legal analyst Lori Levinson.
The Supreme Court deciding to allow victims of terrorist attacks to actually sue the Palestinian authorities, even though those individuals are generally outside the United States, but have activity within the United States. And the court said that the statute that allows that meets due process standards, and this will make it easier for victims of such attacks to bring these lawsuits.
Millions of people in the nation's midsection and west are in the grip of a heat wave hours before the start of summer. CBS's Jim Krasula.
Much of the nation will suffer through 100-degree heat well into next week. If you're looking for cooler weather, head to northwestern Montana, where a winter storm warning is posted for Glacier National Park. Up to a foot of snow will fall there over the weekend.
A day in court today in the UK for a Grammy-winning singer.
No answer from Chris Brown as he walked past reporters into the London courthouse. Inside, he answered, "Not guilty, ma'am," when the judge asked how he pleaded to the charge of grievous bodily harm. Brown and a co-defendant are accused of attacking a music producer with a tequila bottle in a London club 2 years ago. Vicky Barker, CBS News, London.
The insurance company Aflac reports a hack attack that may have compromised customer information. Wall Street, the Dow is up 52 points. The S&P is down 10. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
An update on one of two officer-involved shootings coming up in just a moment. But first, from the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Desk, you have no major blocking problems and your travel times are better than usual. Everett to Seattle will take you about 25 minutes. Federal Way to Seattle, 28. Renton to Bellevue, 25. And your lake bridges are clear. Traffic brought to you by D.R. Horton. With over 20 Puget Sound communities, D.R. Horton has the right home for you. Learn more at drhorton.com.
KIRO News Radio. Breaking news.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. Seattle police say they have just taken a suspect into custody who exchanged gunfire with officers in the Rainier Valley neighborhood this morning. They had set up a search perimeter around the 8400 block of 55th Avenue South and had asked people in the area to shelter in place as they searched for the gunman. Again, a suspect now in custody. We have a reporter heading to the scene to get details. Seattle police are surrounding a home in the Madison Park area where they say a domestic violence suspect is holed up. Live to KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey with the latest. Luke?
Heather, here on East Madison Street from Lake Washington Boulevard to about 4 blocks east, the entire road is shut down just before 5 a.m. Officers responding to that domestic violence 911 call. Police say a man shot his partner, a woman who fell into officers' arms outside the house. Then that suspect fired at officers. Officers fired back. Here's Chief Sean Barnes at the scene.
One officer did return fire while the other two officers evacuated the victim who had been shot.
She was taken to a local hospital. She's going to be okay, we're told. Police are about to send a robot inside that home. There's been little communication between police and the suspect so far. Live in Seattle, Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Thank you, Luke. A public memorial will be held tonight for the 3 Wenatchee girls who were found dead at a campsite near Leavenworth after a scheduled visit with their father 4 weeks ago today. KIRO 7 TV's Brooke Griffin is in Central Washington.
We are speaking with the organizers. We are asking them, how can people really honor those girls tonight? They say that their favorite colors were green, purple, and pink. And if you'd like to wear one of those colors, that would definitely be a good way to honor that memory.
The memorial for Peyton, Evelyn, and Olivia will take place at 7 p.m. at Rocky Reach Park in Wenatchee. Their father, Travis Decker, is still on the loose. Washington's top education office is laying off 37 people starting in July. That's due to budget cuts. The Office of Superintendent of Public Instruction says 57 jobs are being eliminated. 20 of them are retirements or open positions. The Seattle Sounders FIFA Club World Cup hopes are slipping after a 3-1 loss to Madrid at Lumen Field. Albert Runsnuk gave the Sounders fans a brief spark with a second-half goal.
He took his fingers and he pushed it in.
Over it goes towards Rothrock and Rusnak! That'll do nicely for Seattle Sounders.
It just wasn't enough. Seattle now sits 0-2 in Group B and faces a must-win match against Paris Saint-Germain to avoid early elimination on Monday. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Cloudy skies today with a few showers and highs around 60. It is 55 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio App. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Yep. Happy Fresh Fridays here on the Gee and Ursula Show. It's June 20th, and at 7:42 p.m. today, it will be official, like a whistle, the end of spring and the beginning of summer. Good morning, Ursula.
Where's the sun? Where's the sun? Hey, we're going to talk about that coming up here in Top Stories, but I just want to let you know we've been working hard behind the scenes. As we reported yesterday, King County's assessor is still insisting that he is the target of a political hit job as he runs for county executive. He did another interview on our station yesterday about the disturbing allegations against him by his former fiance. We want to respond to what he said, but just in the last few seconds, we have confirmed now that we will have his former fiance's attorney joining us coming up at 9:30, so you will want to stick around for that. As always, you are invited to join us on our text line, 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. If you are a visual type of person and you want to watch our show, you can do so on YouTube.
Ursula's top stories of the day brought to you by Batfitter Northwest.
You got a big smile on your face. What up?
It's just nothing. Nothing. No, it was just, my head, man.
Yeah, your head is spinning, right?
It's spinning.
I know.
Yeah.
We are literally, like I say, when we say we got a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes, there's a lot going on.
Yep.
Okay, so even though the concept of diversity has been under attack, thousands of people took part in the Juneteenth celebrations all around Western Washington. Of course, this marks the day in 1865 when formerly enslaved people in Galveston, Texas, found out that slavery had been abolished, and Congress made Juneteenth a federal holiday in 2021. But as we have been reporting on this show, under the second Trump administration, DEI initiatives have now been banned in the federal government. Even Black American history has been removed from federal websites. For universities, any mention of DEI programs could cost them federal grant money. At a Juneteenth event in Tacoma yesterday, these attendees spoke with Fox 13 about the great turnout despite today's climate.
The energy is wild, and I'm absolutely loving it. You can look around and you see all this beautiful blackness here. This is what it's all about.
It's amazing. I love to see it, black excellence, everybody from everywhere pulling up.
To just really see how far we've come, in spite of society trying to make it seem like we're still stuck in certain times. There may be certain narratives that still exist, but I really think when we do things like these with greatness and expectation, to hold each other to a high standard, we really can see what we're made of.
There's a lot of statistics that shows that the black dollar only stays in the community for a few hours, you know what I mean? So it's important to support black-owned businesses and, just help each other level up.
I just love all the energy that's out here, the people, I love all of it.
Well, you can feel a lot of energy, and as it turns out, you were there yesterday.
Yeah, it was incredible. Yesterday, that turned a day of history, in my opinion, to really promising future. And what I want to talk about is, yes, there were 20,000. Yes, it was super exciting. It was 3 to 4 times bigger than it was the year before when I was there. It was, and I said this on the SMN, Seattle's Morning News this morning, it is the best outdoor event that I've been to since I have moved to the Pacific Northwest.
That is saying something.
It was absolutely incredible. And the angle that I will take with this is this. We are at a time right now where there are just flat out, overtly efforts to consistently and constantly have culture wars that are going. There are a lot of people that take to social media. They say racist things. They are about racism and everything. It really fuels them. The president of the United States coming up yesterday talking about we need to kind of get rid of some of these non-work holidays. We have too many. And oddly enough, he didn't say this after Columbus Day. He said this on Juneteenth. But the most powerful thing that I saw yesterday, and it needs to continue, shout out to my man JD who put this event on down in Tacoma, is there was action. You see, a lot of times when these culture wars and these conversations are coming up, to combat them, we take to social media and we say things and we mess up our day, and me included. We mess up our day trying to fight this, and we're not understanding and seeing a lot of people that we call friends stay silent, right? Or seeing organizations and sports franchises make no mention of Juneteenth. To which I want to just say this. Tacoma and over there showed the world, like, ain't gonna do no talking. We're just gonna do. Mm-hmm. And that's what it takes to combat this. It's supposed to get you off your square, off your game. It's supposed to get you talking and talking and talking. Just do. Just do. And yesterday in Tacoma, they did that. They just did. And I'm gonna tell you right now, when people see that, there are some that are intimidated by that. There are some that are upset by that. This is why sometimes I love some of the hate mail that I get personally in my inbox, because I know I make insecure men sometimes here cringe. I bother them. Success bothers them because some of them only look at certain people to be less than. So when that person that they think is less than is more than them, they hate it. So those celebrations continue to happen. Beautiful thing.
The Trump administration has announced it is shutting down the crisis line specifically for LGBTQ plus youth within the National 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. Local nonprofits like Crisis Connections here in Washington tell King 5 News this is not just disappointing, it is downright dangerous.
It's going to drive more youth to feel isolated. It's going to drive more youth to contemplate suicide.
And the reality is stark. Nearly 40% of LGBTQ plus youth seriously considered suicide in the past year. They are 4 times more likely than their straight peers to try. Michelle McDaniel, who leads Crisis Connections, says this community is already under attack, and stripping away a trusted lifeline makes that even worse. Just last year, nearly 16,000 young people in Washington reached out for help through this service.
We're getting more and more calls from people who are part of the LGBTQ plus community who are very afraid. People's lives are on the line when we take away critical, anonymous, skilled resources.
Okay, get this. Nationwide, more than 1.3 million LGBTQ plus youth have used this since it launched. And now with federal support on the chopping block, McDaniel says her team is scrambling to fill the gap however they can because these kids cannot wait. And she knows exactly what is at stake. She remembers painfully what it felt like to be a teenager, terrified to come out.
I have been that teenager who really struggled with their sexuality. I contemplated suicide because I was so afraid to come out as a young gay person. We do not want to have that happen. We want to be able to be a place where youth can reach out anytime in a safe environment.
And now it's going to be up to Congress and federal health officials to reverse this shutdown. Seattle Pride, among others, are currently lobbying for that change. And gee, I'm just thinking of the energy that you talked about in Tacoma needs to also be here to save programs like this.
Yeah, and consistency with events like yesterday, celebrating Juneteenth. All right, now it's time to do it again with something else. When it comes to, like you just said, bring that energy to discuss this, to rally around this, because it all starts with community. Community wraps around. This community is what really saves a lot of us in a lot of neighborhoods and a lot of what's positive going on.
Yeah, the positive that I saw in the Juneteenth celebrations yesterday, and what I believe is starting to happen, is this fight back from the ground level up. Because so many corporations buckled. So many companies, including many companies here, are like, well, you know, DEI is no longer in favor. It's no longer popular to support Seattle Pride, so let's pull back. Yeah. And I'm sorry, it's not about shaming those companies, but if you really are committed to those things, you're going to be committed to those things regardless of whether it is popular at the time or not. Mm-hmm. If you believe it, you believe it. And you're going to put your money and your words and your actions into that.
I'm glad you said that, Ursula, because that's what's going to save us, period. It's going to be the people. It's the people. It's us, right? When we talk about all the words and how our founding fathers and what they founded, there's only a piece of paper. Yeah. It is only strengthened by us in order for us to
action.
Absolutely, right? So we can't count on politicians. We can't count on all of those that are pens and paper and putting things together. It will be the people that will drive things. And like you said, you see it coming right now.
It is cherry season, but if you've bought some recently, you know how expensive they can be. One reason is a shortage of cherry pickers because of the threat of federal immigration agents raiding orchards in central Washington. Most of the workers travel here from Mexico each year, and in years past, the cherry producers would get up to 120 pickers each season. But now only 20 or 30 are showing up, and farm workers like Francisco tell Fox 13 the fear of being rounded up by ICE agents is terrifying the Hispanic community.
We're a little behind in workers. People are scared about the current immigration situation. Workers who typically come from California aren't here. If people don't show up, the fruit stays. It over-ripens and it can't be picked. Many families don't want to leave their homes. They fear, well, what's going to happen to my family if I get caught? Many are already leaving the U.S. We're afraid there won't be anyone left to work.
Enrique Gastelum is the CEO of the Washington Farm and Labor Association. He says it doesn't matter if you are a Republican or a Democrat. He says finding workers for everything that we put in our grocery carts and on our plates is at risk, and you should be concerned about this.
We feed the world. These are all perishable crops, cherries, hops, vineyards. Mother Nature is not going to say, oh, pause, hold up, we can wait to pick you tomorrow.
The Trump administration, as we've been reporting, has been flip-flopping on whether farm workers should be targeted. Last week, President Trump seemed to have a change of heart. But Homeland Security sent an email telling agents to pause all worksite enforcements involving agriculture. But then that changed again Monday when ICE officials told agents that they need to continue with those raids at farms, hotels, and restaurants.
Are we great? Are we great yet? You know, Ursula, I think of the two of us, I'm going to ask you this. Since the beginning of the year, this is 2025, since January 20th inauguration, what is the best thing that's happening right now in the United States?
I think what we just talked about, that people are finally waking up and realizing the change is going to start with me.
So that's the response to what's going on.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So right now we're having a lot of this because it's a response to what's going on. I'll just say it. We've had nothing but turmoil since we started this year. And the votes and the goal and the plan was to do what? It was real simple at that time, right? It was groceries, it was gas, it was those
immigration.
Things. Sure. And
okay, maybe that's one thing. The number of people crossing the border illegally, I believe, is down dramatically.
So let's talk about immigration. Let's talk about that. So is this what you guys wanted? Because right now, how much did you pay for them cherries? Chef?
Oh, let's see. Their PCC Rainiers were $12.99 a pound yesterday.
Yeah,
that used to be filet mignon, right?
Okay. How about right now? Small businesses that I talked to yesterday, their restaurant right now, they are paying higher prices right now because of all of this tariff conversations. Right now, restaurants. This is not like, oh, don't fear monger. No. This is happening right now at the restaurant stores that supplies the restaurants. They are going way up on prices because of the tariff conversations. But some say, hey, just wait it out. When? Because it wasn't a problem before January.
Yeah. I mean, and one of the things was no wars. And now what are we looking at when it comes to U.S. involvement in Israel, with Israel and the fight against Iran? Yesterday, I filled my gas tank, and man, that was expensive. So I was just reminded again, like, what happened to the lower gas prices? Part of that, yes, is the state of Washington. A big part of that is the state of Washington. Okay, it may not feel like it today, but as of 7:42 tonight, you mentioned it, Gee, summer officially begins, also known as the summer solstice, when the sun travels along its northernmost path in the sky. But as we celebrate this longest day and the shortest night of the year, we're also welcoming rain in the Puget Sound region. Do you know that so far in June, we've only had a trace of rain?
That's not too common, even in the month of June. I think in the last 75, 80 years of records at CTAC, that's through this far in the month, having a trace has only occurred about 4 or 5 times. So, yeah, it's definitely unusually dry for the month of June.
Dustin Guy with the National Weather Service in Seattle says the rain's going to stick around for most of the weekend. You know what that means. Thousands of people, or the 1,000 people, I can't even believe that many people are going to be riding their bikes naked for the Fremont Solstice Parade tomorrow afternoon. They're going to be getting wet. And it also means if you've been suffering from allergies lately, you might finally get a break, Gee.
No, at least they're going to have some warm weather. You feel me?
It's not going to be that. It's not going to be that warm.
It's not going to be that warm?
No.
It's going to be a little chilly?
It's going to be chilly and wet.
We might have lower participation.
But you were talking about allergies.
Yo! Ursula, I'm glad you brought that up. R. Kelly said, I'm fighting for my life, Gail. I'm fighting for my life. These allergies have been whipping on me so bad. I don't know if any of you all have been suffering. I got to tell you, first, Ursula, I did not start having allergy problems until post-COVID. So I want to be clear about that, right? Second, I've had a little bit last year I thought was kind of bad. This is the worst awful year, I'm telling you. It is
we had a really dry June.
So bad. I just want to know, text in. What you doing? Give me your remedies. You got a little thing you're doing? Allie in Tacoma told me, she told me her delegation does the, what is it, the hot pot or the, what's the potty thing they put in your, you know.
The potty thing. The neti pot.
The neti pot. Yeah. She, Allie.
You don't want a hot pot in your nose.
No hot pot, no potty in the nose.
But look, Ursula, I'm telling you,
Your boy's struggling. I've been getting whipped. You ain't got nobody in your house struggling?
Mark. Yes.
Man.
I know, I'm just tired of
Whoa. I'm not going to let you make fun of him right now.
I feel horrible for him. It's harder to sleep at night.
Like,
yeah,
I'm
you're
like-
just
I'm
constantly
like-
feeling like you're just
I
so congested.
just blew my nose 3 minutes ago. How is that much back in there? You know, I'm struggling.
Well, text us 888-973-5476 888-97 KIRO. I hope you find relief. So we start off the summer with a little bit of rain.
You sounded like a spa commercial.
Yes.
I hope you find relief. Yo, help your boy out. All my seasoned brothers and sisters that listen to the show, I know you got some old school remedies.
Did you ever do a face massage, G? In the shower when it gets all
Yes.
steamy and stuff?
Yes, you
Take
need
your
to do
knuckles and spread it over your face. You can feel all of the mucus draining out.
Or get Lillian's Jade roller.
That's the way to do
in
it.
the shower.
I'm an allergy guy too. I've been doing this my whole life. It's brutal. It's an extra bad year though. You're not wrong. It's been a real bad season.
Yep, Mill and Bainbridge. Allergies fierce since May.
I mean, it's fierce.
Flonase, Heidi in North Bend says.
So Ian says, touch my face in the shower. Okay. Hey, coming up next, we're going to be having on the attorney for Lee Keller. The King County Assessor continues to insist that he is the target of a political hit job. He was on our station yesterday. Today, we will talk to the attorney for his former fiance. We do all of that next. Gee Ursula.
KIRO Newsradio, the Northwest's trusted news source.
Get the latest from KIRO Newsradio's James Lynch.
It happened Wednesday morning just after 6 o'clock.
Experienced voices you trust.
Several people hurt after a violent Saturday in Pierce County.
Coverage you depend on.
More from KIRO Newsradio's Matt Markovich.
It's as close to a veto warning as you could possibly get.
KIRO Newsradio. We're on YouTube, our app, your smart speaker, and 97.3 FM.
Hey, it is G. Scott with Urbanize, and everyone knows about the iconic red bottom shoes from Christian Louboutin, but did you know that they have an exclusive new collection? Yeah, it's true. It's not all about red bottoms anymore. It is their stunning line of eyewear. Right now, Urbanize is the very first place in Washington to offer these incredible pieces, and they're in stock right now. Be the first to make that statement. Come on in and hang out with Dr. Dana and her crew. You got to see these Christian Louboutin glasses. Oh, are they good? Right now, make your mark with Christian Louboutin eyewear only at Urbanize. Go see Dr. Damer and her wonderful team at Kirkland Urban. They take all types of insurance, and they're experts at maximizing those benefits. Book an appointment easily at myurbanize.com.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. So let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver Card is at table 27, and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. It's the Sleep Number 4th of July sale. Save over $600 on our King P5 smart bed, our lowest price of the season. Limited time. All Sleep Number smart beds offer temperature solutions for your best sleep. Check it out at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com today.
Thy ticket, Lady Jennifer of Coolidge.
Well, many thanks, good sir. Here'th my Discover card.
They accept Discover at Renaissance fairs?
Yeah, they do here. Discover is accepted at the places I love to shop. Getteth with the times.
With the times? You're playing the lute.
Yeah, and it sounds pretty good, right?
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. It's the Sleep Number 4th of July sale. Save over $600 on our King P5 smart bed, our lowest price of the season. Limited time. All Sleep Number smart beds offer temperature solutions for your best sleep. Check it out at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com today.
Your new beginning starts now. D.R. Horton has new construction homes available throughout the greater Seattle area. With spacious floor plans, flexible living spaces, and home technology packages, you can enjoy more cozy moments and sweet memories in your beautiful new home. With new home communities opening throughout the Seattle area, D.R. Horton has the ideal home for you. Visit drhorton.com to learn more. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
Business leaders know to solve a problem, you got to look at it in a new way. Like travel between Seattle and Portland. Why is it such a pain? I-5 traffic, TSA slowdowns, SeaTac hassles. Seaport removes those pain points. We fly out of Boeing Field and a private terminal at PDX. You park for free, steps away from your plane. And with flights every 45 minutes, you're always home for dinner. Problem solved. Seaport Airlines. It's about time.
Carter Subaru wants to buy your car. Carter Subaru will buy your vehicle for top dollar, even if you're not in the market for a new one. And when you are ready to buy a new vehicle, your drive begins with savings at Carter Subaru. Carter Subaru in Shoreline and Ballard.
Citizens, since we each upgraded to Xfinity in our homes, the Wi-Fi has been booming. It's fair to say our town has officially become a boomtown.
Mayor, will I be able to drop into multiplayer gaming battles with low lag?
The lag won't be an issue, but your questionable skills may be.
And what if I have hundreds of devices on the Wi-Fi? Purely hypothetical.
Seems like a lot, but sure, hundreds of devices all booming together with the Xfinity Gateway. Yes, friends and neighbors, with Xfinity, the Wi-Fi is booming.
The Wi-Fi isn't the only thing that's booming. Now get the most reliable Wi-Fi and our best-in-class equipment for one consistent price for 5 years guaranteed. All in. Plus, get unlimited data included and no annual contract. All with the 5-year price guarantee from Xfinity. Visit Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. New residential customers only. Select plans only. Xfinity Gateway with X5 Complete required for unlimited data except in certain areas. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024. Actual speeds vary.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. Seattle police have a home in the Rainier Valley surrounded right now. That's where a domestic violence suspect has holed up. Live to the scene, and KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey. Luke?
Heather, 4 blocks of East Madison Street is shut down here. I see a SWAT team standing by just in case they go in. They're sending a robot inside that home to get the layout, they tell me. Just before 5 a.m., police say the suspect shot his female partner. He also shot at officers who returned fire. Here's Chief Sean Barnes.
Officers responded 4 minutes later and discovered a female in the front yard who ran to the officer's arms. The female collapsed and we discovered that she had been shot.
We're told that victim will be okay. At one point, the suspect also fired at a TV station drone. No telling where those bullets came down. I'm Luke Ducey, live on East Madison. Now to another shooting involving an officer-involved shooting, I should say, in South Seattle, and KIRO News Radio's Gwen Baumgartner.
Yeah, not far from where you are now. This started around 6:30. Police tell me a man was resisting arrest. This was near Pritchard Beach along Lake Washington. Police say that a man shot at officers, so officers in response tased him. That man then went into Lake Washington, again, still resisting arrest, leading to a brief standoff. Now, during the standoff, neighbors in the area were asked to shelter in place. Here's what one neighbor witnessed.
We were just laying in bed, and then we heard 2 shots, and then heard 2 more shots. And then looked out, and I seen about 20 police cars come down through.
Yeah, well, that man was later taken into custody that police were trying to arrest. They say that was successful. They have arrested the man. They say that the shootings where Luke is, where I am now, are not related. The officer that was shot at here near Pritchard Beach was not injured. Gwen Baumgartner, KIRO News Radio.
Thank you, Gwen. The latest now on the escalating conflict between Israel and Iran, who've been exchanging strikes. Countries, including the U.S., are rushing to get their citizens out of Israel now. This evacuee just landed at Tampa International Airport.
I think as we started going to shelters more often, it started to sink in a little bit more, but how serious this particular conflict was.
The U.S. has held off direct involvement in the attacks, but the Trump administration is telling Iran to dismantle a secure nuclear site at Fordo. CBS's Ed O'Keefe.
If they don't take the deal today, if they continue to sort of string along the United States, it's more likely then that by July 4th, the president's going to make a decision one way or the other that could involve potentially joining Israel in these military attacks.
The summer solstice arrives tonight with much of the U.S. sweltering under triple-digit temperatures. This boy is at a summer camp in South Dakota.
It's about to be 108. My mom's picking me up early.
About 100 million Americans are under heat alerts. Not so in the Puget Sound region, which is apparently celebrating January. Meteorologist Dustin Guy.
Well, we've got a really broad area of low pressure just off to our northwest as we speak over the offshore waters. That's going to basically move on shore during the day tomorrow and gradually kind of drag through us into Saturday and Saturday evening. Finally, it'll get east of us by Sunday.
The heaviest showers should arrive tonight through late morning tomorrow. On Wall Street, the Dow is up 89 points, NASDAQ down 72. From the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Desk, a heads-up road work will have northbound I-5 reduced to 2 lanes near the Ship Canal Bridge. That starts tonight at 9:30 and runs until 5 a.m. Monday. Other than that, no major blocking problems, and your travel times are better than typical. Everett to Seattle, 25 minutes. Federal Way to Seattle, 28. Renton to Bellevue, 25. And your lake bridges are clear. Traffic brought to you by AAA Washington. The key to more summer fun. Discounts, roadside rescues, and more. Join AAAWashington.com. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Cloudy skies today with a few showers and highs around 60. It's 55 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the Gee and Ursula Show. King County Assessor John Arthur Wilson, who is running for county executive, continues to claim that he is the target of a political hit job. He's refusing to step down or end his campaign for county executive, despite growing calls from elected officials who say the allegations made by his former fiancée are both disturbing and disqualifying. His ex, Lee Keller, has now filed 2 restraining orders against him just in this past year. Wilson, who has been publicly airing his troubles on his Facebook page, did his second interview with KIRO Radio yesterday, this time on the Jake and Spike Show.
She's taken various legal steps 7 times now, and each and every time.
7 times?
Yes, each and every time she has either dropped it or dismissed it. Or
what were those cases?
They were, 4 of them were dissolution of the domestic partnership, where I said, look, if you want to dissolve it, fine, we'll dissolve it. Then at the last minute, she'd go, well, I really don't want to dissolve it after all. You go, okay, well, then we won't dissolve it.
Now, we have reached out to Lee Keller's attorney, and this is the first time we are all going to get to hear her response to some of these claims. Attorney Paula Kurtz-Kreschel is on live with us now. Good morning, Paula.
Good morning.
So let's just start there. You heard at least excerpts of that interview from yesterday. He is continuing to say basically that Lee has made up a lot of these allegations, that she has flip-flopped and changed her mind on all this. What is your response to that?
Well, I have a lot of response, but his claims about the 7 legal actions, they have filed to dissolve the registered domestic partnership together multiple times. And he is the petitioner in that case. He has withdrawn those petitions each time. This time she's filed it, and she has filed the restraining order. She had a momentary thought where she might need to dismiss that restraining order because she was in that cycle. And it seems like when she ultimately decided to break that cycle, he's apparently lost his mind.
And when you say cycle, and we brought it up yesterday in our discussion, if you talk to any sort of domestic violence, advocates for victims of domestic violence, they will say that this is very typical and that it is hard to make that break because he is using that fact as to say, look, she looks happy. She took a picture with me. These are all contrived allegations, and it is just a way to get me to stop running for county executive.
Right. This has nothing to do with his campaign for county executive. I have no idea where that's coming from.
Paula, I want to ask kind of a question that kind of almost involves me in this situation. First, full disclosure, I've had great conversations with John Arthur Wilson. To be specific, the last time was in 2023. And Lee Keller, our sons and I went to school together, so I know Lee Keller. But what I want to ask is, with John Arthur Wilson, is there records of him maybe reaching out to friends of Lee Keller? Because I bring that up because I had a conversation, the last conversation I had with John Arthur Wilson was in 2023, had not heard from him then. And then on June 10th of this year, you're talking about almost exactly 2 years later, he sent me a message saying, I see you were with my ex-fiance, Lee Keller, tonight. We should really talk. So my question is, and by the way, he saw because I was at an event and then pictures. If I'm getting messages like that, are there people that are connected to Lee Keller getting messages from him?
There were people getting messages from him. I don't have any recent evidence of that. I know he, following the restraining order or shortly before this last restraining order, he was reaching out to her son. He was reaching out to her sister. I do believe that he's reached out to a few public officials that may be friends of Lee's, but I don't have any recent evidence of that, no.
Are you allowed to do that? Because I know that there's a restraining order and everything like that. Is that you can do that?
You can do that as long as you don't try and communicate to Ms. Keller through this third party. But I'll tell you, John has, first of all, what's being lost in all of his media rants and ravings are that nothing he's said to date is relevant to the veracity of the restraining order. He has yet to deny the specific behaviors that led to this restraining order, and he can't. I mean, the evidence is literally in black and white and contained in the court's file. I will tell you, Gee, that he's repeatedly violated the restraining order, and he continues to do so. And it's a complete arrogance. It shows disregard for the rule of law. It shows disregard for orders of the King County Superior Court. He is solidly in contempt of court at this time, and he should be expecting to be served with a notice of contempt shortly.
He's getting ready to get served again?
He's going to be served with a notice of contempt, a notice to go to court for contempt. And we do hope that as a public official, John Wilson will do his best to accept service, not evade it.
And I want to make sure of one thing, too, because I feel horrible, and I have stated that it is so hard to talk about this, but he has forced it to be public. I mean, the Seattle Times was the one that reported on this. Lee wanted to have none of this go public. She has somewhat of a public job as well. And I know that this is extremely difficult, and she is being forced to have to respond because of this situation. And I say that because this is not stuff that should be coming out in public. Lee has nothing to do with his run for county executive.
She has nothing to do with his run for county executive. She's had no communications with others, who are running for county executive, at least no other communications regarding his campaign. He is waging this campaign against my client. And to be frank, he's going on every station he can to whine and basically cry witch hunt. And I don't know who that sounds like to you, but it all sounds very Trumpian to me. She's not waging a media war. Lee Keller has decided to try this case in the courts where it belongs.
And what is the next step?
Race in class.
What is the next step? Because there is when is the next court hearing?
Well, as I said, there will be a court hearing on contempt. The next scheduled court hearing is June 30th, and that is where the court will determine whether or not to keep the restraining order in place for a certain period of time. Now, that can be through the duration of the dissolution of their domestic partnership, or it can be for as long as the court determines is necessary. Or the court will decide to terminate that restraining order. I highly doubt that's going to happen.
Last question for you. This is the voice of Paula Kirk-Kreshel here on the Gee and Ursula Show. Can you, your client, Lee Keller, can you describe her fear right now? I mean, we've all heard from John Arthur Wilson constantly, whether it's on Facebook, whether it's on our station, talking to other shows. Can you help us understand the fear of Lee Keller?
Well, he sounds, to be frank again, a bit unhinged. He's grasping. He's throwing their personal relationship out in the media, and he's telling some outright lies, many outright lies. She's nervous. She's scared. She has a job to do. She's, in a very public career, and she has high-profile clients. She's trying to do her job, and at every turn, he's harassing her and threatening her and trying to negatively impact her career. She's nervous. I would say that she's at this point possibly a little concerned for her safety. He's acting in a way that is somewhat erratic.
This is attorney Paula Kirk-Kreshel. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for sharing her side of the story. Appreciate you.
You're welcome.
More to Gee and Ursula Show next.
At Dunn, relationships are everything. It's why we build a culture around building the best relationships possible, building joy and trust, one interaction at a time. So whether you need trusted advice, help with material selection, project planning, or loading your vehicle, we go the extra mile to remove as much of the hassle as we can. If there's anything we can do to serve you better, contact me personally, Mike Dunn at dunlumber.com.
Dunn Lumber, building success together. Guys, want long-term health you can count on? It starts with knowing your numbers. This June, for Men's Health Month, Revive Seattle is offering a free comprehensive wellness panel, a $400 value, including testosterone, blood sugar, heart health, and more. Take control of your health today and stay strong for the long haul. Offer ends June 30th. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com today.
Get 0% financing for 72 months on Cat compact construction equipment at NC Machinery. Built for performance, durability, and comfort. Buy now and take advantage of 0% financing for 72 months at NC Machinery.
Hey there, Dawn Riling with Olympic Hot Tub. Today is the last day to save big during our mid-year clearance spectacular. All 8 of our Puget Sound showrooms are open until 6 p.m. This is your last chance for incredible savings on one-of-a-kind saltwater hot spring spas, plus deep discounts on pre-owned tubs, swim spas, and saunas. Do not miss this. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Olympic Hot Tub.
Subaru of Puyallup is known for making your car buying experience stress-free no matter what. Olivia here from Subaru of Puyallup. We've provided stress-free sales and service through storms, supply hiccups, even a pandemic. You can count on a stress-free experience no matter what's around the corner. Right now, we have over 300 brand new Subaru vehicles on the lot with stress-free pricing plus excellent stress-free trade-in values. Come in and secure today's pricing on tomorrow's car at Subaru of Puyallup.
Hey, it's John Curley with Dr. Kopstein from K2 Vision RLE. Doc, I heard that 50% of Americans have their lenses replaced by the time they're 75.
That's exactly right, John. As we near 50, our eye's natural lens starts to become dysfunctional. If you've now added readers to your need for glasses and contacts, it's a sign the quality and function of your natural lens is fading, and it's a steady decline towards cataracts.
Don't go another 20 plus years with poor vision, hassling with contacts and readers. Do what I did. Choose a quick, painless refractive lens exchange from K2 Vision RLE and start enjoying great vision now.
Our new lens technology is truly amazing. After replacing over 100,000 lenses, we have the experience to guide each patient to their best solution, even if that's recommending you wait a little while before RLE.
K2 Vision RLE can restore distance and near vision permanently, plus never develop a cataract. Read the reviews and schedule a free Zoom consultation now at k2visionrle.com.
The old throne's not too well, and ooh, does it smell?
DayandNight.net. Hi, I'm Bruce, General Manager of Day and Night Plumbing and Heating. Over the past 70 years, I think we've seen every drain clog out there. If your pipes aren't draining, I promise you, our experienced technicians will find the issue, the right solution, and do it at a fair price. We'll work harder than anyone to earn your trust.
Call Day and Night to save $50 off any drain cleaning.
DayandNight.net.
Got pickleball game? Play with Seattle football legends in the Champions of Change pickleball tournament on June 28th, benefiting high school athletes. Register at championsofchangefoundation.org/pickleball or donate at your local Safeway.
Thy ticket, Lady Jennifer of Coolidge.
Well, many thanks, good sir. Here'th my Discover card.
They accept Discover at Renaissance fairs?
Yeah, they do here. Discover's accepted at the places I love to shop. Getteth with the times.
With the times? You're playing the lute.
Yeah, and it sounds pretty good, right?
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer? Can we sleep cooler? Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. It's the Sleep Number 4th of July sale. Save over $600 on our King P5 smart bed, our lowest price of the season. Limited time. All Sleep Number smart beds offer temperature solutions for your best sleep. Check it out at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com today.
Hey guys, it's Keith Dashafi from Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington, and we are not done celebrating 100 years of industry leadership. For a limited time, get $100 off every window, $100 off every door, or choose 60 months of 0% financing with no interest and equal payments. That's right, 100 years strong, and we're giving you more ways to save on the Pella difference. Schedule your free consultation today at PellaPNW.com. Thank you again for letting us serve you in the Northwest.
Oh, Ian, come on, man. That's what I'm talking about. I didn't think you knew anything about this. It is the Gee Ursula Show. Come on, Ursula, let's get this show back on the rails because your boy is not feeling it right now. Do I need a hottie pot, a potty pot? What I need for my nose? Oh, it's what?
A neti pot.
Neti pot.
I've never used it. The idea of squirting that thing up your nose. Yeah,
it's like warm salt water.
No,
and then you tilt your head to the side and you let it all drain from one nostril in and then out the other.
So you waterboard yourself. Okay.
It's brutal.
I would take Ian's advice and do the massage instead in the shower.
Yeah.
That sounds
just let the shower work it all out.
I'm going to do the shower where I rub on my face. All right. Question. How many kids are too many kids? Or is that such a thing? Just look at this week's headline maker, Pavel Durov, the co-founder of Telegram, who just announced that he's going to leave $17 billion fortune to his... Now, how many children, y'all? How many children you think? 106. 106. Most were conceived by donation with his sample sprinkle. Chef, man, come on, man. Time out. What? Time out, man. Let me full disclosure.
He knew that you were going to read.
How the hell you going to do conceived by donation samples being sprinkled?
Because he knew that you were going to read it.
It's evocative.
Just in full disclosure, we were going to talk about something entirely different.
That involved the N-word.
Yeah, exactly. And
we're
like, nope, not on Fresh Friday.
Not on Fresh Fridays.
Yeah, nope. So you didn't get a chance to look at this prior.
All right, Chef.
Okay,
let me get back to it. Anyways, samples was being sprinkled all across 12 countries. He says it was his master plan for a freer, healthier generation with kids' payouts delayed until 2055 just to keep them humble. Now, then there's Ari Nagel, what is that?
CUNY.
Oh, yeah, I know that college.
Yeah.
Math professor,
CUNY.
better known as... fam. No.
Okay, I'll help him.
I'm done.
He's better known.
Ursula, go
he's
ahead.
better known as the sperminator.
No, I'm not doing this.
So he fathered.
I'm not doing this.
Okay, but this is actually really serious and disgusting, in my opinion. Fathering over 176 children in just 17 years, leaving his genetic mark on 5 different continents. This Father's Day, the sperminator says he finally is zipping it up for good so he can spend less time producing and more time parenting the dozens of kids that are already running around. Now let's just stop there because I thought Elon Musk was excessive, given that is it 14 now?
14 we know about, but there's allegedly more.
More, right? Or Nick Cannon, who
Baker's dozen or so.
Yeah, exactly. I mean. Now, my dad was one of 13 children. So there was
I thought you were about to say something else. I mean, because you've told a story, store shit, all that. I didn't know what you were going to say.
Gee. Okay, yeah. Well, okay. I'm not thoroughly convinced that I don't have a sibling out there that could pop up later in life. That's what G is referring to.
Were there samples sprinkled?
No. But let's get to the idea of how many kids is too much, which is, what do you think of this idea of having your, I guess, genetics spread all over the world? I think at some point, unless there is meticulous tracking, this could be really problematic.
Well, let's stay on that fun conversation. I think that too many kids in 2025 is different than too many kids in 1955.
Of course.
You know what I mean? Your dad belonged, it was 13 of them,
yeah.
right?
I was one of 5, okay, now 6, because I did meet a half-sister when I was in my 40s. Okay. This is why I kind of joke about, I could have more.
Did you meet her in her 40s?
I was in my 40s.
When you met her?
Yeah.
What'd you say when you talked to her for the first time?
I loved it. She knew. My dad knew. And he didn't share with us until she came forward. It's a long story, but she lives in France. My dad's name is George. Her name is Georgia.
Really?
Yeah, she would have been the very oldest. So it was a relationship my dad had before he even met my mom.
Oh, so he's older than all y'all.
Yeah.
She's older than all y'all.
Yeah, and we have a great relationship.
Do y'all look alike?
Not at all, because her mom is Caucasian. My mom's Filipino.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
So
is she coming for the party?
She looks, no, unfortunately. But she's come and visited.
Mm-hmm.
We have visited her. Yeah, she lives in France.
Yeah.
She's lovely.
Let's ask Gen Z. Ian, how many kids right now is too many kids?
3.
Wow.
Once you go to zone coverage, it's out. You got to meet man coverage. Once you're in zone coverage, you can't do it.
Bro, that was good. That was so good.
But wouldn't you say that anymore if you meet someone who says, yeah, I have 4 kids or 5 kids, it's like, whoa, that's a lot. You're silly.
All right. Hey,
Okay.
We got a good show that's coming up. Hey, at 11 o'clock, we're going to bring on a advocate manager that deals with a lot of the unhoused that'll join us at 11. But up next, Michael Medved, Gee Ursula.
An illegal alien from Guatemala charged with raping a child in Massachusetts. An MS-13 gang member from El Salvador accused of murdering a Texas man. A Venezuelan charged with filming and selling child pornography in Michigan. These are just some of the heinous migrant criminals caught because of President Donald J. Trump's leadership. I'm Kristi Noem, the United States Secretary of Homeland Security. Under President Trump, attempted illegal border crossings are at the lowest levels ever recorded, and over 100,000 illegal aliens have been arrested. If you are here illegally, you're next. You will be fined nearly $1,000 a day, imprisoned, and deported. You will never return. But if you register using our CBP Home app and leave now, you could be allowed to return legally. Do what's right. Leave now. Under President Trump, America's laws, border, and families will be protected.
Sponsored by the United States Department of Homeland Security.
Well, I'm here with my good buddy, Dr. Dan Nelson from Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine. And you've heard from Dr. Dan's patients over the years how a simple stem cell procedure has successfully conquered their pain. Well, folks, now it's my turn. After years of dealing with knee pain from all the football abuse, I can say my knee pain now is almost 100% gone. How'd you do it, Dr. Dan?
Well, Brock, personally, I'm very happy that you did so well. And your story is like so many of our other patients who come in, former athletes and non-athletes as well, who have come in with chronic knee pain, and they are looking for alternatives besides knee replacement surgery. And we're happy to provide this service. It's been truly a game changer for so many folks. It's just been a pleasure to be part of this.
Consider Dr. Nelson, the only doctor with over 30 years of experience in pain medicine techniques, including stem cell therapy. I was in and out with a couple of follow-ups. It's a non-surgical solution to pain using your own stem cells. Consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD at 425-823-4000 or visit DanielNelsonMD.com. That's DanielNelsonMD.com.
Kick off your 4th of July weekend with a Mariners fireworks show at Seattle's summer home, T-Mobile Park. It's a Mariners patriotic party. Thursday, July 3rd, presented by T-Mobile. Fly ball right field. Sailing back. Gone! Legend, Cal Raleigh. Catch Cal and the crew take on the Royals at 7:10. Then stick around as the sky explodes with red, white, and boom. Fireworks and Mariners baseball. That's 2 spectacular shows in one unforgettable night.
J.P. Crawford with a walk-off single. Holy smokes, what a finish.
Lock in your seats now at mariners.com/fireworks and check out the full fireworks lineup this summer, including an 80s night on July 18th and Show Tunes theme on August 1st. Plus, don't miss big-time giveaways like patriotic trucker hats on July 4th and J.P. Crawford basketball jerseys on July 5th. Mariners baseball. Tridents up.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done. This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
At Carter Subaru, your drive begins with savings. With over 300 new vehicles in stock, shop your way, in-store or from home. Plus, when you buy from Carter, you support our community. Visit Carter Subaru in Shoreline and Ballard today.
KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle. This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Steve Kathan. New developments here at home as attacks rage back and forth between Iran and Israel.
As President Trump is contemplating potential U.S. strikes on Iranian nuclear facilities, law enforcement officials have stepped up surveillance of Iran-backed operatives in the United States. Multiple sources told CBS News that FBI Director Kash Patel has increased efforts to monitor possible domestic sleeper cells linked to Hezbollah. Jennifer Jacobs, CBS News, the White House.
CBS's Elizabeth Palmer is in Geneva. That's where Iran's foreign minister is blasting Israel's move to launch a military campaign.
He's going to meet with the foreign ministers of France, Germany, Britain, and a representative from the European Union. President Macron of France has said that the Europeans will present Iran with a document. It's for discussion with a view to opening up some diplomatic space and maybe sometime down the road de-escalating this war.
The U.S. Supreme Court has rejected the FDA's effort to limit where companies can challenge denials of their products. Legal analyst Lori Levinson.
The Supreme Court today has made it easier for retailers who sell products by R.J. Reynolds, the tobacco giant, products that might go to the youth for vaping and e-cigarettes. it's going to be easier for the retailers to challenge the limits on the marketing of those products.
Oppressive heat is an issue for millions of us from the Southwest on up into the nation's midsection. Henry Jameson is a summer camper in Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
It's about to be 108. My mom's picking me up early. Drinks a lot of water, put sunscreen on, maybe have a few popsicles, and just try to stay cold.
In a new memoir, Alaska Republican Senator Lisa Murkowski is opening up about her decision to not vote for President Trump last fall. She spoke with CBS Sunday Morning.
I have a hard time voting kind of for the lesser of two evils, if you will. I want to be a proactive voter. I want to vote for somebody who I believe in.
There will be a seventh and deciding game to decide the NBA title Sunday night. Gary Washburn of the Boston Globe.
This is for all the marbles. Indiana has not won a championship since joining the NBA in 1976. Oklahoma City has not won since moving there in 2008. So this is for everything. This is one team is going to walk away with their first championship. The other one's going to walk away empty-handed.
The Dow is up 115. This is CBS News.
Sponsored by Progressive. Protect your auto, home, and business with Progressive and get 24/7 coverage. See if you can save at Progressive.com. That's Progressive.com.
Two major crime scenes in Seattle. We are live at both. But first, from the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Desk, in Bothell, a crash is blocking a lane on I-405 northbound near State Route 524. You are slow all the way through Canyon Park. Travel times otherwise pretty good. Everett to Seattle, 25 minutes. Federal Way to Seattle, 28. Renton to Bellevue, 25. And your lake bridges are clear. Traffic brought to you by Northwest Hope and Healing. Join them for Life in Color on August 17th, honoring those impacted by cancer. Get tickets at nwhopeandhealing.org.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. A standoff is underway near Seattle's Madison Park between police and a domestic violence suspect. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey is there. Luke, a woman was injured in this?
She was shot. She's going to be okay, but 4 blocks here on East Madison Street are still shut down. I'm looking at a SWAT team up the hill from Seattle Police in full tactical gear, standing by, ready to go in, and another SWAT team behind me, just 20 feet away down the hill. They're from Bellevue Police Department, and they're ready to go in as well. Tactical gear on and ready. The bomb squad also has a drone here and a robot ready to go inside that home. It happened just before 5 a.m. 3 officers responded to a domestic violence 911 call. That female victim was shot. Well, she ran outside and fell into officers' arms. Seconds later, the suspect then fired at police, and one officer returned fire. We're told that victim, again, is okay, but there's been little communication between the suspect and negotiators. Now, let's go to that other scene and another officer-involved shooting. Here's KIRO News Radio's Gwen Baumgartner.
Yeah, I'm here at the Rainier Beach neighborhood. This started as an assault call around 6:30 this morning. A man resisting arrest before police say he shot a gun at officers. Officers then tased him, but the man then shot again and went on the run. This prompted about an hour-long search. People near Pritchard Beach were told to shelter in place. I spoke to one neighbor who did just that.
I just stayed in my bed, stayed right up here on my porch and watched out.
Now, police eventually tracked down that suspect, who then jumped into Lake Washington to again evade arrest. That cold water just too much for him, letting police arrest him a little while later. Gwen Baumgartner, KIRO News Radio.
Thank you, Gwen and Luke. A memorial will be held tonight for 3 Wenatchee girls who were found dead at a campsite near Leavenworth after a scheduled visit with their father. KIRO 7 TV's Brooke Griffin is in Central Washington with more.
The public memorial service is tonight at 7 o'clock here at Rocky Reach Park in Wenatchee. Organizers say everybody is welcome to attend, but you do need to bring your own chair or blanket to sit on. They also suggest bringing glow sticks and safe candles as well. The girls' family members, friends, and leaders of their clubs and hobbies are all expected to speak.
Peyton, Evelyn, and Olivia Decker were picked up by their father, Travis Decker, 4 weeks ago today. He is still on the loose. One of the state's most scenic highways has reopened near Bellingham. It's been nearly 60 days since a rock slide took out a portion of Chuckanut Drive. WashDOT's R.B. McKeon.
Some cool people called geotechs went out there and they actually rappelled down, and they had to map out a plan of all the loose places where they needed to reinforce the walls.
Once that was done, crews were able to safely remove, get this, 3,600 tons of boulders, some the size of cars. Frontier Airlines has landed at Payne Field, launching commercial flights from Everett. Nonstop routes to Denver, Las Vegas, and Phoenix take off twice a week. Alaska Airlines also has service from Payne Field. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Cloudy skies today with a few showers and highs around 60. It's 55 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio App. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
It is Fresh Fridays here on the Gee and Ursula Show. Happy June 20th. Ursula, at 7:42 p.m., it's going to be official like a whistle. Summertime. Spring is over. Summer is here. And you've been saying, you've been feeling summer. I want to tell you, I think I will officially feel summer after tonight. After tonight, when I wake up, by the way, I need the rain. Well, here's the thing, Ursula. I need the rain, but I don't need the rain.
Yeah, you need the rain to help with your allergies.
Yes.
Because we've had only a trace of rain so far this June. Here's how I look at it.
How you look at it?
The reason I feel like I've already had a bit of summer, and folks who've lived here a long time will remember.
That cruise helped you too.
Well, that helped me, but I'm just saying the weather here was about as good as I had it on the cruise.
That's true.
For those of us who love these sunny, warmer days, we also remember those summers where we had no summer. For example, summer of 1993, the year I got married. And the reason I remember it distinctly is because we got married in October of 93. And that whole summer before our wedding, I was like, I think I could have counted on one hand how many sunny days we had. It was one of those summers where it was just cloudy the whole time.
Wow.
We never had it. So I feel like we've already had some summer. I've had a chance to go out to the pool. I think a lot of you probably feel that way too. And get this, we're just beginning.
Right.
So that's what I love. But we've got a guest on the line, so we are going to get to it.
What's new at 10?
And once again, we want to say hello to Michael Medved, nearly lifelong conservative and a commentator that you can hear on michaelmedved.com. And it sounds like we might have a bit of a scratchy phone line, but we're going to try to make this work. Good morning, Michael.
Hey, good morning, Angela, and good morning, G.
Actually, it's Ursula today.
Together.
It's Ursula today, the normal host. Angela was last Friday.
Yeah, it's just they sound
very similar. I know. I get it. Okay, well, let's get to it because, as you know, this conflict between Israel and Iran is intensifying. Sources tell CBS News that President Trump believes this is necessary to disable a major nuclear site in Iran because of concerns that weapons could be produced quickly. But, Michael, the Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, is out of favor with the president for this video that she released. I want everyone to hear this.
Because as we stand here today, closer to the brink of nuclear annihilation than ever before, political elite and warmongers are carelessly fomenting fear and tensions between nuclear powers. Perhaps it's because they are confident that they will have access to nuclear shelters for themselves and for their families that regular people won't have access to.
Okay, important to listen to that. And then earlier in March, Tulsi Gabbard also testified, Michael, that Iran is not building a nuclear weapon. So listen to this.
The IC continues to assess that Iran is not building a nuclear weapon, and Supreme Leader Khamenei has not authorized the nuclear weapons program that he suspended in 2003.
How close do you personally think that they were to getting one? Because Tulsi Gabbard testified in March that the intelligence community said Iran wasn't building a nuclear weapon.
I don't care what she said. I think they were very close to having it.
Okay, along with being nearly a lifelong conservative, you're also a presidential historian, Michael. How unusual is this that we're seeing how disjointed this is?
This is unbelievably unusual, and I again, it's extraordinary that when there are disagreements within an administration, and when there's somebody who's just way off the reservation, like Tulsi Gabbard is. I mean, one of the things that Trump has been consistent about, and I give him credit for it, is that it's important that Iran not develop a nuclear weapon. Because, and first of all, there's a real question and no one's answered it. What is she doing as director of national intelligence doing this propaganda film about Hiroshima? And it's truly bizarre. Why is that her concern right now, unless she is, as many people suspected, basically trying to use her temporary position as DNI, Director of National Intelligence, as a stepping stone for another political career where she might go back to the Democratic Party or go to a third party. I think she's a flake. And and you can hear that in President Trump's voice, even in that one brief comment, that I think he might recognize that he made a mistake with that appointment.
Okay. Well, so I need to ask you, should the U.S. support regime change in Iran and use military force, our military force, to make that happen?
No. We should not use the military force to make regime change happen, though that would be a good byproduct. We should do exactly what this president has been very specific about doing, which is preventing Iran from becoming a nuclear power. And that might mean regime change after that is accomplished, but it isn't necessarily the case. And there are a lot of experts today who are writing about what regime change could mean in Iran. It wouldn't mean bringing in the young Shah, the son of the late Shah, who is still dreaming of returning his family to power. It could mean bringing in people who are more fanatical and more dangerous and more destructive even than the Grand Ayatollah, who's at 86 years old. He's heading toward the end of his service, it would appear.
So I want to make sure I got this right. You are happy at the way that Donald Trump is handling things when it comes to the Israel-Iran conflict?
No, that would be saying too much. What I am not, what I can say, I think he has been handling it surprisingly well so far. But does that mean that to say that I'm happy about it or thrilled about it? I will be thrilled when this war is over. And part of it is because I have family in Israel. I mean, my brother and his children and grandchildren, everybody's involved in the defense of the country. People are feeling the attack on civilian buildings like the Soroka Hospital in Beersheba that occurred yesterday. Israel does not want, and no sane individual, it seems to me, wants to see this war go on and on and on. What is important is destroying their nuclear capacity. And that's within reach. I mean, I do believe that the military experts, some of whom we've interviewed on the air, are correct, that it is probably very possible for the United States to go further than Israel did with Natanz and actually use those bunker-busting bombs and the B-2 bombers to take care of their in the mountainside facility in Fordo.
Okay, Michael, by the way, this is Michael Medved here on the Gee and Ursula Show. In football, sometimes there can be a play called, and in the huddle, there's a play, and they go out there in the execution where they run the wrong play. However, the play is successful. And the play is successful because everybody did the same thing wrong, if that makes sense. When it Now, let me be serious for a second. When it comes to what's going on right now, what makes me very concerned, and I haven't voiced my concern on the show because I've been keeping it off the air. What has me really concerned is right now. If there's any time, I would rather the administration, I don't care about the culture wars or anything like that. I need for all of them to be lockstep, all on the same page, especially something as serious as the Israel-Iran conflict. My question to you is, do you have concern? And I know you have family that's Israel, in Israel right now, and I know that's definitely on your mind and on your heart. But do you have concern about the split that we are starting to see within MAGA going on right now when it comes to this? It's almost a repeat of, hey, weapons of mass destruction. We have been there, and there's been that conversation, and so the trust is not there, and there's really a split within MAGA, which, by the way, not to say that I'm upset about a split in MAGA, but I am nervous of a split in MAGA when it comes to war.
Well, again, it's not an abstraction. I agree with you. I'm upset at the fact that Pete Hegseth is Secretary of Defense. I'm upset that Tulsi Gabbard is the Director of National Intelligence. I'm upset that Steve Witkoff, who has no experience, diplomatic experience, is handling all these top-level negotiations. And this goes back to, again, the strange basis on which Trump selected his cabinet. And some of them are going to be balanced. I'm fairly confident because, again, we all know that the big thing for President Trump is people who are loyal, who are extremely devoted to him. And you can't have people passionate on both sides, both pro-Israel and pro taking away the nuclear potential from the People's Republic of Iran, and people who are America firsters and believe that this is not America's business, that we should simply stand aside and allow them to acquire nuclear potential. And what's so bizarre about this is with that video that Tulsi Gabbard prepared, she seemed to be more concerned about America ending World War II with the use of nuclear weapons than she was with the prospect of Iran not only developing nuclear weapons, but part of the problem with that is they have said, and the Ayatollah has said very directly, they will share those nuclear weapons with terrorist groups like Hamas and Hezbollah and their various clients out there, which should alarm everybody.
You are listening to Michael Medved. You can hear him on michaelmedved.com. Michael is a conservative commentator. And I want to ask you, because one of the stories that we had in our top stories at 9 is that there are fewer cherry pickers in central Washington. It's to the point where only 20 or 30 are showing up instead of 120 or more that they get each season. And that is actually basically putting the cherries at risk of rotting by staying too long, and it is indicative of what is going on in terms of the ICE raids and the changing viewpoint of the Trump administration as to whether farm workers should be targeted or not. What are you making of that whole situation? Because, again, I see the Trump administration getting pulled in two directions.
No, there's a direction of realism and then the direction of fantasy. The idea that they were going to be able to arrest and deport 11 million human beings who have built lives here and in this country, and that we're going to that it doesn't matter, are they criminals, are they not criminals? They're criminals anyway because they are violating immigration regulations. The whole issue of the farm workers, and it's interesting that he includes not just farm workers, but he's recently included meat packers or people who are working in the hospitality industry, right, hotel workers, which he has some experience with. And what all of this is saying is that the the basic pledges that they had and brags about the biggest deportation in all of human history, that this was never realistic, and it was never pragmatic, and it was never a good idea for the country. And the craziness of it, when they are even talking about buying and selling the right to live in the United States, because today they're putting out these what are called Trump cards, where if you have $5 million to pay the government, they'll give you the right to come here and have legal residence. And at the same time, they're offering bonuses for people to deport themselves. Now, there's not enough money to go around if you're going to be paying $1,000 per person, and you really are seriously going to try to get rid of 9 million people minimum, but probably close to 11 million people, and get them out of the country. It will damage the economy. And by the way, it will have more divisions, not just in the Trump administration, but in the nation at large.
Michael, you know, I'll be very transparent with folks. I really wasn't paying attention to politics at the end of President Reagan. I wasn't paying attention to politics at the beginning and end of George Bush the first. And then I barely started paying attention to politics, basically, I would say probably around really George Bush the second. That's when I really started paying attention. Ursula introduced you. She said, lifelong conservative. And I've been on YouTube lately listening to both George Bush and them and hearing Republicans, the way they would speak back then. What is conservative today?
That has to be defined. And it seems to me, I had an article. I was one of a number of commentators and writers from the Republican side who wrote a piece for National Review about why Trump isn't a conservative. It is nothing conservative about basically trying to have a radical change and basically remake the country in a way that has never been done before. When, again, you're talking about arresting and deporting 11 million people, many of whom, by the way, are married to U.S. citizens. When you're talking about changing the basis for U.S. citizenship, to take away what has actually been the fact since the 14th Amendment was passed in 1868, which is that there's no question if you're born in the United States, you get to be an American citizen if you want. And again, to try to alter that means altering the Constitution in a radical way that isn't conservative in the least.
Well, Michael, we are out of time. It's always great to have you on. I know that's a very difficult question to answer right now, but I would argue.
Well, you have an opinion about it.
Yeah. Very, very simple opinion, Michael. And the reason why it is complex and it is tough for you and a lot of lifelong Republicans is because MAGA. MAGA is the difference in all of this. This country, if anybody, you tell me, you're the historian. When have we had an example of MAGA being infused into the Democrats and Republicans? Anything close to what we have right now?
Well, we had an America First movement in the 1930s.
And what were they about? And what was America First movement about?
What the American First movement was about was basically having the United States ignore Hitler and the Japanese and the Italians and to ignore what was going on in the world, which was very much to the detriment of the world and of the United States.
Good stuff, Michael. Always appreciate having you on. Thank you, sir.
You bet. And good luck to Ursula.
It's all good.
All right. Hey, coming up at 11 o'clock, we do have a guest, an outreach manager from St. Vincent de Paul, an advocate for the unhoused. But coming up next, more of the Gee Ursula Show.
This hour is brought to you by Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. SkillBridge and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify.
Hey there, Dawn Riling with Olympic Hot Tub. Today is the last day to save big during our mid-year clearance spectacular. All 8 of our Puget Sound showrooms are open until 6 p.m. This is your last chance for incredible savings on one-of-a-kind saltwater hot spring spas, plus deep discounts on pre-owned tubs, swim spas, and saunas. Do not miss this. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Olympic Hot Tub.
Now that summer is here, our family's gearing up for some big road trips in our Subaru Outback. We bought our Outback from Carter Subaru, where your drive always begins with savings. And right now, you can get the 2025 Crosstrek with 2.9% APR for 48 months. Shop with the Carter Subaru Advantage and enjoy valet parking at Carter Subaru's Ballard dealership and at-home delivery across all locations.
On approved credit, subject to vehicle insurance and availability. A documentary service fee may be added to the sale price or capitalized cost. See dealer for details. Valid through 6/30/25.
Hello, Seattle. It's your friendly neighbor, the T-Mobile Park roof. From up here, I can see it all. Folks pouring in from the street, the sun setting over the sound, the roar of the crowd as Luis Castillo pumps his fist, and the joy of the J-Rod squad as Julio snares a deep fly ball at the wall.
He reaches up with a leap and he makes the catch!
And all the faces smiling with every perfectly grilled hot dog and swirl of soft serve. When the final out's made, I'll be right up here, lighting the W and soaking it all in. Mariners baseball. Try it inside.
The next Mariners homestand gets started with 3 straight value games against the Royals, Monday, June 30th through Wednesday, July 2nd. Score seats for as little as $11 and enjoy a beautiful summer's night at the ballpark. Go to mariners.com/value games to lock in your seats and check out the complete Mariners value game schedule.
There's a sink at the brink and a drain that's a pain.
Dayandnight.net.
The old throne's not too well, and ooh, does it smell?
Dayandnight.net.
Slow drains, backed up toilet, is your main drain or sewer clogged? Hi, I'm Bruce, General Manager of Day and Night Plumbing and Heating. Over the past 70 years, I think we've seen every drain clog out there. If your pipes aren't draining from a small fix to a major repair, our sewer and camera inspection will show exactly where the problem is. I promise you, our experienced technicians will find the issue, the right solution, and do it at a fair price. Give us a call or visit
Dayandnight.net.
I guarantee whether Day and Night is your first choice or your smart second opinion, we'll work harder than anyone to earn your trust.
If you have a drain that's slow or clogged, call Day and Night. Now you'll save $50 off any drain cleaning. Slow or clogged drains? You know where to go.
Dayandnight.net.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/radio for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
Safety comes first. That means no credit financing at Buc-ee's Complete Auto for oil changes, brakes, tune-ups, wiper blades, and factory maintenance. Check the Buc-ee's near you at buc-ee's.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. Seattle police are trying to negotiate with a man accused of shooting a woman this morning at a home near Madison Park. Live to the scene in KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey. Luke?
Yeah, Heather, 4 blocks here on East Madison Street are still shut down. I'm looking at a SWAT team up on the hill near the scene from Seattle Police. Full tactical gear standing by, and I see another SWAT team behind me, 20 feet away from Bellevue. Police moved in a robot near the home not too long ago, and they flew a couple of drones in and near that home. Firefighters are also, I can see them standing by with air tanks on their backs. Just before 5 a.m., 3 officers responded to a domestic violence 911 call here. That female victim who was shot fell into police officers' arms outside the home. That suspect, police say, then fired at police, and at least one officer returned fire. We're told that victim is going to be okay. Neighbors tell me the suspect and the female victim are boyfriend-girlfriend, that he doesn't live here and she does. There's been little communication so far between that suspect and negotiators. Live in Seattle, Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Seattle police say a man is in custody after exchanging gunfire with officers in the Rainier Valley neighborhood this morning. More from KIRO News Radio's Gwen Baumgartner.
This started as an assault call around 6:30 this morning. A man resisting arrest before police say he shot a gun at officers. An officer then tased him. And then the man shot again before going on the run. Neighbors heard the chaos.
We were just laying in bed, and then we heard 2 shots, and then heard 2 more shots.
Officers found that suspect, who then jumped into Lake Washington. That cold water was just too much for him, letting police arrest him about 30 minutes later. Gwen Baumgartner, KIRO News Radio.
There are new concerns that the conflict between Iran and Israel could spill into the U.S. CBS's Jennifer Jacobs explains.
As President Trump is contemplating potential U.S. strikes on Iranian nuclear facilities, law enforcement officials have stepped up surveillance of Iran-backed operatives in the United States. Multiple sources told CBS News that FBI Director Kash Patel has increased efforts to monitor possible domestic sleeper cells linked to Hezbollah. Jennifer Jacobs, CBS News, the White House.
More than 100 million Americans are under heat alerts right now. Phoenix, Arizona hit a record-shattering 117 degrees yesterday.
I can't walk the dog. The dog's mad at me because she can't go for anywhere at this point.
Definitely it can make things a little bit more, depressing. You just want to stay inside all day. You don't really want to do anything because it's so hot outside.
And just contemplate that as you consider this. Temperatures here in the Puget Sound region are going to stay around 60 degrees with showers. Meteorologist Dustin Guy.
Friday evening through Saturday morning is probably going to be the wettest period. So if you've got any outdoor plans during that 24-hour period especially, it's going to be rather damp.
It is expected to warm up early next week. On Wall Street, the Dow is down 39 points, NASDAQ off 147. From the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Desk, in Belleville, a crash is still blocking a lane on I-405 northbound near State Route 527. You are slow through Canyon Park right now. Travel times otherwise pretty good. Everett to Seattle, 25 minutes. Federal Way to Seattle, 28. Renton to Bellevue, 25. And your lake bridges are clear. Traffic brought to you by Washington 811. If you're digging in your yard, you are legally required to call 811 to avoid damaging utility lines. Call or go to digsafewad.com. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Cloudy skies with a few showers. The high today around 60 degrees. It's 55 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Oh, yeah. I had to wait for the good part.
You did.
Yeah.
You had to wait.
I wasn't going to talk over it.
Ursula, that's what I'm talking about.
So, hey, thank you for joining us here on the Gee and Ursula Show.
Yeah.
You've probably seen those giant pink boxes all over TikTok. You know those ones we're talking about, the crumble ones.
Yeah.
Okay, if you haven't tried a crumble cookie, I'm going to say it. I think they're pretty darn good. But, okay, what you might not realize, and I know you guys are going to weigh in, you're already ready, but you might not know that Wall Street is just as sweet on crumble cookies as your teens are, or as I am. And Crumble started as a tiny Utah cookie shop. This was back in 2017, and then just had an explosion. So fast forward now, they've got over 1,100 stores all around the U.S., Puerto Rico, and Canada. And last year alone, they pulled in more than $1 billion selling these $5 cookies that are the size of your face, essentially. Although they do have smaller versions of those same cookies. People line up, snap their unboxing videos. They debate the flavors on Reddit like it's a sport. And it is so bankable, all this hype, that private equity firms, including Blackstone, are now pouring in hundreds of millions of dollars just to get a piece of the dough. And experts say, yeah, this makes sense. Because when all of us have to cut back on big splurges like cars or vacations, you need to have a little sweet in your life, or in this case, a giant one. Mm-hmm. And a giant cookie is the treat of choice.
Okay.
So I saw this on the rundown, and I said, yeah, I want to talk about crumble cookies. One of my sons, 28-year-old, who is a health nut, but if he's going to break his health streak and be unhealthy, his first thing of choice is crumble. We had an event last weekend, and those crumble cookies were gone. Not just for my son. Everyone who came over loved it. Was like, oh my gosh,
those
these
things
are great.
are
These are
loaded with calories.
Bombs. Calorie bombs for sure.
Yes.
So if you're on your keto or whatever, you aren't going to be eating crumble cookies.
Right.
But you know, one of the best gifts that I have received from you? You gave me some crumble gift cards a couple of Christmases ago.
That'll never happen again. I'll never give you crumble again.
What's up, though? Why are you so sour on crumble?
I mean, it's cool. I think crumble's overrated. One. Why do I think that? Because I don't think crumble is better than whatever your favorite, whoever the person in your family that makes those good cookies, I don't think they taste better than those. Because the thing is about cookies, sandwiches, and there are certain foods that are made. This might sound outdated, but I'm going to tell you, some of these things taste better when they're made and filled with love. When there's a love connection. So if your grandmama's, in my case, my grandmother's banana pudding, that was love.
Yeah, but
cookies cookies are usually a love language, y'all.
Yes. Okay. And I will say I am a horrible cook, but I'm a pretty good baker, and I think that my chocolate chip cookies are great.
That's what I'm saying.
But I'm okay going to crumble too. And some of them are too sweet. I mean, some of them miss the mark. Another one, okay, and I just want to know, like, so for you, what is the best cookie? What you said, grandma, the one that your grandma made.
No. I'll tell you right now. And I'm not just saying this. I'm not just. Lillian has this big cookie that she makes that would probably it would go well at the Met Market and stuff like that. She has perfected a big type of cookie, and she can do it chocolate chip, peanut butter. She can do different ones.
Yes, I believe.
Give me that cookie all day long on the late night. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Right out the oven.
There has not been a time that I've been to Crumble where there isn't a line. There's a line out the door each and every time. So
what would you rather have?
It could be overhyped. Mm-hmm. Okay, the Crumble Oreo one is pretty amazing.
What would you rather have? Question. Would you rather have a crumble cookie or
Lillian's cookie?
No.
I'll take Lillian's.
No, I'm being serious. Would you rather have a crumble cookie or your favorite dessert that someone makes for you? It's not close.
Of course I would want the one that someone makes for me because of the thought that went behind it. The corporation that owns Crumble doesn't give a rat's you-know-what about me. So that's why. But would I necessarily always think it tastes better? No. I mean, the other thing that I know is this is one of those companies that they try to do right by their employees, et cetera, et cetera. So what's that?
Oh, sure they do. They have a mission, right? 3% of profits given
Chef,
to
come on in.
Dude, I'm sorry. Crumble cookies.
Chef.
Crumble cookies are for show, not for enjoyment. They're the things that you buy to bring somewhere that looks impressive.
They do look
but
impressive.
Don't actually taste good in your mouth. They fall into the category of foods that people perceive to be better because they're bigger, not because they're actually better. It's just large, and they have all the toppings on them and glazes and things.
I mean,
it's like the cocktails that people make with fancy garnishes, and the garnishes do nothing for the cocktail.
Sometimes
or
you need
all the
that in
stuff
life.
on donuts.
Okay, I'll tell you what is a
no,
really
just give me
good cookie.
good, simple.
I'll tell you what is a really good cookie that you can buy. Okay, so if you're not going to make it, and if grandma's not going to make it, and your friend's not going to make it for you.
What you got?
Hello Robin.
Oh.
If you have a chance to try Hello Robin, and there's one at U Village, there's one on Capitol Hill, there's a couple of stores. Again, local.
It's good?
Oh, my word.
They got a Macklemore cookie.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking
Legit.
about. Yeah, so that is a legit cookie.
Again.
That is like on the level of your best homemade.
I am not saying that crumble cookies aren't good. I'm not saying that Hello Robin's cookie. I'm sure. But what it gets it for me, and by the way, you do got to charge a lot of money for a cookie in order for a business to stay around.
They are spendy.
I mean,
yeah.
but
Okay. How Mike in Portland though? Unpopular opinion. I don't know that it's unpopular. He says the cookie. I
just said that.
Yes. At Met Market.
Lillian gets down with it. Yes. That cookie at Met Market is real.
A little bit of salt on top of it.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. Why we always talk about food on this show?
I know.
Because we're hungry?
Okay, text us. It's Fresh Friday. 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. What is the best cookie? Hey, look. I look to our listeners to give some advice. What
It's a loaded question.
Oh, stop.
Scenarios next.
Oh, God. Wait. She's laughing way too hard on this one. And Ian's in the know, too. What did I just stumble into?
Gee Ursula Show next.
Your new beginning starts now. D.R. Horton has new construction homes available throughout the greater Seattle area. With spacious floor plans, flexible living spaces, and home technology packages, you can enjoy more cozy moments and sweet memories in your beautiful new home. With new home communities opening throughout the Seattle area, D.R. Horton has the ideal home for you. Visit drhorton.com to learn more. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
Okay, we're still trying to figure out that whole cookie thing. But in any case, I want to talk about the big, long drives that we do over the summer. One of them is we go to Lake Chelan in our Subaru Outback, and that car has been fantastic for all of our family adventures. We bought it at Carter Subaru, and it was one of two vehicles that our family has actually purchased from that same dealership. At Carter Subaru, you are going to be treated like family. They are a family-owned dealership. They are invested in our community, which I love. But the other thing I love, no pushy sales tactics, no gimmicks. We are repeat customers because Carter Subaru is committed to treating their customers with the utmost respect. And right now, they have what you have been searching for with over 300 new vehicles in stock, including the 2025 Forester, now with 3.9% financing for 48 months on approved credit. Shop with the Carter Subaru Advantage and enjoy valet parking at Carter Subaru's Ballard dealership and at-home delivery across all locations.
On approved credit, subject to vehicle insurance and availability. A documentary service fee may be added to the sale price or capitalized cost. See dealer for details. Valid through 6/30/25.
Right now, Kia of Everett has over 400 new vehicles available. And the great part, they're tariff-free. Hi, I'm Eric Butler, the general manager with Kia of Everett. Tariff-free means you're going to save thousands of dollars. And our terrific lease and financing offers can help you purchase your new Kia now while the timing is right. The best drive to tariff-free savings is to Kia of Everett, where we make owning a new Kia simple, easy, and fun. Visit Kia of Everett at kiaofeverett.com.
Hi, it's John Curley. You know, I've been a patient of Longevity Medical Clinic since 2009, and Longevity Medical Clinic has been helping people live longer, healthier lives for more than 25 years. You know what's amazing, doctor? The feelings that you have after just a couple of months. You sleep better. Your strength and vitality, it is evident that it works. It's really a mindset, though, Dr. Mixon, because a lot of people, well, this is what's supposed to happen.
Let us help you be stronger, faster, leaner, smarter, sexier, but most important, happier. I'm less impressed by how many years I might live, but how much I live during my years. You know, the option is here. Nobody's going to make you go to longevity, but the opportunity is there, and all you have to do is take advantage of it. I don't know why anybody would not want to do what we do.
And that's where Longevity Medical Clinic comes in. So get your free health analysis. Go to longevitymedicalclinic.com. That's longevitymedicalclinic.com.
We're here with our friend Steve Teitler of Best Mortgage, the reverse mortgage expert. Steve, mortgage rates have been dropping this year. How could that help seniors struggling to stay in their homes?
Lower mortgage rates means seniors can now get more money from their equity with a reverse mortgage. You can pay off your existing mortgage, have extra money to help with today's high cost of living, or believe it or not, you can even buy a home with a reverse mortgage. There are many uses, and best of all, you have no mortgage payments the rest of your life.
But as you always say, a reverse mortgage is not for everyone.
That's right. Avoid the high-pressure sales pitch from those out-of-state call centers. I give you a consultation, not a sales pitch. I'll tell you if a reverse mortgage is right for you, and I always tell you if it's not.
Honest advice you can trust from the reverse mortgage experts. Best Mortgage, the VA loan experts and debt consolidation specialists too. 425-649-6000. Best Mortgage, 425-649-6000.
Need a new roof but not in the budget? A new roof doesn't have to break the bank. Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors here. Right now, State Roofing and Exteriors is offering 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for up to 24 months. That's 2 years with no payments while getting the protection your home deserves. But this offer won't last forever. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today to get on our summer schedule now. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
Care Partners Senior Living is growing. Amanda here. We are very excited to introduce our newest communities in Port Orchard, Sumner, and North Creek Bothell, bringing compassionate, quality care at an affordable price, closer to more of you. Visit carepartnersliving.com today.
Guys, want long-term health you can count on? It starts with knowing your numbers. This June, for Men's Health Month, Revive Seattle is offering a free comprehensive wellness panel, a $400 value, including testosterone, blood sugar, heart health, and more. Take control of your health today and stay strong for the long haul. Offer ends June 30th. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com today.
It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Now, we're not going to do scenarios right now. Scenarios is going to happen today at 11:30 because Ursula's going to break in. We got some breaking news.
We do have breaking news. We've been tracking this standoff between a suspect and Seattle police in the Madison Valley neighborhood. KIRO Newsradio's Luke Ducey is there, and he joins us live. What's the latest, Luke?
Yeah, good morning, everyone. So it's over. The standoff is over. This standoff has lasted for hours here in this neighborhood, East Madison Street, blocked off from Lake Washington Boulevard, 4 blocks east, all morning long. It was before 5 a.m., right before 5 a.m. this morning, that 3 police officers from Seattle responded to a domestic violence 911 call here. They walked up to a house, and they said a female victim escaped from her boyfriend, who was inside the house, literally fell into officers' arms. She had been shot. She was taken to Harborview. She's going to be okay. But officers, they said they grabbed her, and then seconds later, the suspect, a man, again, the boyfriend described to us by neighbors, fired at officers, and at least one officer returned fire. And then since then, 5 a.m., he'd been holed up, described as barricaded inside a probably an upstairs room in that area. Tactical teams have been here all morning as well. SWAT teams from both Seattle, but then a Bellevue SWAT team showed up as well. We thought we would have heard something if they went inside, like flashbang grenades and more noise. We didn't hear any of that. But then just moments ago, we saw that there was a kind of a release at the scene. SWAT kind of taking their tactical gear off. We saw firefighters loading up and leaving the scene, and we all wonder, well, it must be over. And then a spokesperson came down to us and said, yeah, it's over. Another person who's been here all morning long is Seattle Police Chief Sean Barnes. He's sitting in an SUV about 50 yards away from me right now up the street. That spokesperson said that Chief Barnes is going to come down here and speak to us and tell us exactly what happened. But it looks like this scene is about to be cleared, and this long standoff in this very tight community here, houses very close together, a real worry that if there was a shootout involved, those bullets would be harmful, potentially harmful to other people living in that area. But the standoff is over, and we're waiting to hear the latest.
It's good news that the standoff is over. We will get more details. Hopefully the victim in this was not seriously injured, but it has been a busy morning for Seattle police, Luke, because it sounds like so this was an officer-involved shooting in this case? And this
was an officer-involved shooting, too, but this is the second one.
That's right.
It's the second one that happened this morning. It was during this scene. I was here. I got here just after 5 a.m. And then all of a sudden, including Chief Barnes, he jumped in his SUV and his team. They raced out of here, as well as like 6 other police cars raced from this scene to another one in the 8400 block of 55 Avenue South on Pritchett Beach. An officer there made contact with someone, fired his taser, but that suspect fired his gun back at an officer. I know there was a search in that area. I don't know the details beyond that. We had another reporter working that scene, but that suspect was taken into custody.
On the scene that you're at right now, the standoff that has been going all morning long, you've been there for hours. Do we know anything more about the suspect?
We don't. Only that, I talked with neighbors who lived right there, and they've been sitting out here with all of us, because they can't get back into their apartments, that this was a boyfriend-girlfriend, that this boyfriend, the suspect, didn't live there. It was her apartment. It was like an upstairs apartment in a house, and that they had heard in the past this couple fighting in the past, but not recently. They said that they seemed like they'd been getting along a lot better. And this happened. I asked them, would you, we all know when you hear people fight and couples fight or anyone fight, if you know them really well, you kind of know, man, someday this is going to turn out really bad, or it could. I said, did you get that vibe at all with them? And they said, no, this is really kind of weird. But yeah, apparently it got to that point, and a large standoff. She is okay. That's what we're told. Non-life-threatening injuries, but really scary and a really violent morning here in Seattle.
Oh, thanks, Luke. And wait, one more thing before you go. The suspect, he seems like he's been apprehended. The suspect is okay as well.
In this case right here, we don't know. That's we don't know. We don't know if he was taken into custody peacefully. He gave up. We don't know if he's dead or alive, but we're going to find out soon.
Yeah, we will wait to hear from Chief Sean Barnes, who had joined us on the Gee and Ursula Show this week. This has been just a very busy morning, as you said, Luke, and we will look for more details on both of these developing stories. Thank you.
Thank you, Luke. Now, Ursula.
I know.
I know. You saw the text?
I know.
You saw it? Yeah.
I know.
Go ahead.
I know. James texted in.
I know a lot of you all plan your day around scenarios.
Yeah,
but at the same time, go ahead.
He said, okay, I think he might have been a little tongue-in-cheek. He says, I plan my whole day around scenarios. You should only break in over it if it's something like World War III. He had a big smiley face, but yeah, we're going to do it.
Listen, it's Fresh Fridays. And I want to kind of bring you guys into and what we think about how we plan the show. Trust me, you don't think we would rather do scenarios at that time than to talk about 2 shootings?
Yes.
So I just want you guys to just understand, bear with us, give us grace, that if breaking news comes in on a situation like that, you tell me it was a standoff for hours, it's now over. We got to do our jobs.
We can't wait on that.
Now, this is coming from G, the one that doesn't want to work at all.
So we're going to do it at 11:30?
Sure is.
Okay.
Hey, Ursula, coming up at 11 o'clock, Jake Now, outreach manager from St. Vincent de Paul. He is an advocate for the unhoused. He's going to join us next. We get to ask him questions on how can they make their way out, what are some changes, what are some challenges, and more. He joins us next. Gee and Ursula.
Jake and Spike.
How you doing today?
Oh, fabulous.
You're looking a little, are you a little glum?
No.
Oh, you're fabulous.
Fabulous. I'm faking it till I make it.
Good for
I'm a
you.
transmission fluid half full kind of guy.
Oh, that's nice.
How's that?
You need that today.
I do need that.
You're having some car troubles. Is that okay that I tell people that?
Yeah, of course it is. We live our lives. We live our lives for the betterment and enjoyment of this city.
The Jake and Spike Show.
Weekdays, noon to 3.
On KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
G. Scott here with former Seahawks Cliff Averill and Doug Baldwin. I heard you guys are having a celebrity pickleball tournament to raise money for Nourishing Champions. Why pickleball?
Pickleball is, obviously, it's a growing sport, but also just in the community in Seattle, they've already welcomed it. The beautiful thing about this model is that we will actually be playing with community.
We're excited about this pickleball tournament. It's all about bringing families together, but also, you get to come out there and compete against myself, Doug, Michael Bennett, and we are the most competitive people. So regardless of how sorry Doug might be, Absolutely. He will be out there competing like it's a Super Bowl. And again, it's just all about bringing community together and having a great time, but all for a great cause and raising money for these grassroots organizations.
Come out and help me beat Cliff. Help me beat Cliff.
All right, this is going to be fun. Sign up for the Celebrity Pickleball Tournament, open to all skill levels. For details, go to championsofchangefoundation.org/pickleball.
Join the free smoothie party at Tropical Smoothie Cafe on Saturday, June 21st for National Smoothie Day. Tropic Rewards members get a free smoothie with bowl or food purchase. Terms and conditions apply.
Gee and Ursula, weekdays from 9 to noon on KIRO News Radio.
How can you free your team from time-consuming office tasks? Amazon Business. Smart business buying tools enable buyers to find and purchase items fast so they can focus on strategy and growth. Free up your team and focus on your future. Learn more at AmazonBusiness.com.
Right now, get a $15 gift card after rebate with the purchase of select AC Pro refrigerant products at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aid.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Every 2 minutes, an American is sexually assaulted. Be the someone who gives their time. Be the someone who lends an ear. Be the someone who takes a step. This is Christina Ricci with RAIN, asking you to join the fight against sexual violence and volunteer in your community. Log on to RAIN.org, that's RAINN.org, to learn how you can be the someone.
This message brought to you by the Rape, Abuse, and Incest National Network and this station.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
If you need to hire, you know it takes time. Well, what if you could meet with qualified candidates the very next day? Now you can with Zip Intro from ZipRecruiter. You simply pick a time and it does all the work of finding and scheduling qualified candidates for you. Then you choose who you want to talk to and meet with great people on back-to-back video calls as soon as the next day.
Try Zip Intro for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. Zip Intro. Post jobs today. Talk to qualified candidates tomorrow.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code POWER to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code POWER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code POWER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Peter King. Tonight marks the start of summer. Forecasters say this weekend's hot weather will make it feel like mid-season.
Much of the nation is in for excessive heat with temperatures at or above 100 degrees well into next week. Henry Jameson is trying to beat the heat at a summer camp in Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
It's about to be 108. My mom's picking me up early. Drinks a lot of water, put sunscreen on, maybe have a few popsicles, and just try to stay cold.
Some 100 million Americans are under heat alerts, and that number will grow through the weekend. Jim Crisula, CBS News.
A Texas appeals court has said the city of San Antonio cannot pay for out-of-state trips for women to get abortions. Here's CBS's Linda Kenyon.
The San Antonio City Council had voted to allocate $100,000 into its Reproductive Justice Fund to support abortion-related travel. The Texas Attorney General sued, saying the city was transparently attempting to undermine and subvert Texas law and public policy. An appeals court agreed and granted a stay. This temporary injunction means further appeals are possible.
The U.S. Supreme Court has revived long-running lawsuits against Palestinian authorities from Americans hurt or killed in Middle East terrorism attacks. CBS's Jan Crawford on other rulings to come.
We're still waiting on the big case about nationwide injunctions. There's a really interesting case about whether states can require age verification for adults who are trying to access some porn sites. There's a hugely important case about books that have LGBTQ themes and characters in elementary schools, and whether parents can opt their children out of some of those story time books.
European officials and Iran's foreign minister are in Geneva for talks as President Trump says the U.S. could join Israel in attacking Iran's nuclear sites. CBS's Elizabeth Palmer is in Geneva.
The document includes a couple of things that Iran is definitely going to find hard to swallow. The Europeans will propose that the international nuclear inspectors come back to Iran. That's probably going to be okay, but that Iran will be nudged toward zero enrichment. That's something Iran has said is a non-starter.
All right, is there anybody here who doesn't know this music? Today marks 50 years since the premiere of the summer blockbuster it was in.
You yell shark, we've got a panic on our hands on the 4th of July.
And if that didn't keep you out of the water in the summer of 75, you're better than I am. Happy anniversary, Jaws. Wall Street, the Dow is down 31. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
The standoff with a domestic violence suspect is over. The story coming up at first from the Beacon Plumbing traffic desk. In Bothell, it looks like the crash has been cleared from I-405 northbound near State Route 527. It looks like your backup is breaking up through Canyon Park now. Travel times, Everett to Seattle 25 minutes, Federal Way to Seattle 28, Renton to Bellevue 25, and your lake bridges are clear. Traffic brought to you by Global Credit Union, where members enjoy no-fee accounts and early payday with direct deposit. Learn more at globalcu.org.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. A standoff is over between Seattle police and a man accused of shooting his domestic partner this morning at a home in the Madison Park area. We are right now getting an update from Police Chief Sean Barnes. Earlier, Barnes told us the suspect fired at officers when they arrived at the home.
One officer did return fire while the other two officers evacuated the victim who had been shot.
That woman is expected to survive. Again, we're getting an update on exactly how this standoff came to a close, as well as the fate of the suspect. We'll bring that to you as soon as we get it. One man is in custody after a gun battle with Seattle police who are trying to arrest him for assault in the Rainier Valley this morning.
A Seattle police officer tried to tase him, and then that man shot again before going on the run. Neighbors told to shelter in place.
I just stayed in my bed, stayed right up here on my porch and watched out.
Police were able to track down the suspect, who then jumped into Lake Washington. He was there for about 30 minutes before he let police take him into custody. Gwen Baumgartner, KIRO News Radio.
A public memorial will be held tonight for the 3 Wenatchee girls who were found dead at a campsite near Leavenworth after a scheduled visit with their father. KIRO 7 TV's Brooke Griffin is in Central Washington.
We are speaking with the organizers. We are asking them, how can people really honor those girls tonight? They say that their favorite colors were green, purple, and pink. And if you'd like to wear one of those colors, that would definitely be a good way to honor that memory.
That memorial for Peyton, Evelyn, and Olivia will take place at 7 p.m. at Rocky Reach Park in Wenatchee. Their father is still on the loose. We're going to go live now to KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey. He's been covering the standoff with a domestic violence suspect. Luke, how did this come to a close today?
Well, it ended. It's over. I just talked with Chief Sean Barnes, who shared with us that the suspect who was holed up inside that house after he shot his female victim, his partner, he is dead. And they don't know, however, if he died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound or in an exchange early this morning around 5 a.m. with Seattle police officers, if one of those bullets hit the suspect. I'll say this as well, that he was described as a 53-year-old white male who has a previous criminal history. He had served time for a double homicide in the past, and he had been out of prison for years now with no contact with police, and now a violent end to his life. The investigation will continue here, and East Madison will be closed for quite some time. That's the latest. We're going to have more throughout the morning and afternoon, of course.
And Luke, just quickly, we know officers exchanged gunfire at one point with this suspect. Any of those cops hurt in this?
No officers hurt in this. And then we got new information about that second officer-involved shooting that happened at Pritchard Beach. That was also, according to Chief Sean Barnes, another domestic violence situation. And as the chief put it, they saved 2 lives of 2 female victims today, but at least one suspect is dead. The other suspect in that other case in South Seattle has been arrested.
All right, thank you, Luke. Good work out there. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Cloudy skies today with a few showers and highs around 60. It's 58 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio App. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Yep, you know what time it is. Happy Fresh Fridays here on the Gee and Ursula Show. It is June 20th. For those that listen every day, and you are a loyal listener, if it's 11 o'clock on a Friday, what does that mean? Text in 888-973-5476. Scenarios will happen. Yes, scenarios. We're still going to be doing scenarios today. That's going to happen at 11:30. But right now, it is time to welcome our guest.
Yeah, in our state, it is estimated that more than 31,000 people are homeless. That is an increase of more than 12% from a year ago. And compared to the rest of the country, our unhoused population ranks 3rd highest in the U.S. So, Gee, this is an issue that we talk about often on our show. And despite the billions of dollars spent on solving homelessness, it's not something that is going away. And this morning, thanks to a connection that you've made, we have a chance to ask some questions and perhaps get a better understanding of the complexity of this problem.
We do. And he is the outreach manager from St. Vincent de Paul. He is an advocate for those that are unhoused who are trying to find their way out of this problem that is happening. And he joins us right now. Jake, now, thank you so much for being with us. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Well, again, let's get to it first. It kind of explain, really, if you will, kind of an elevator, quick understanding of what does an outreach manager for St. Vincent de Paul, what are you tasked with? What is your job?
Yeah, so as a homeless outreacher, it was kind of nice of them to tack the manager thing on there. That's just something that's there. But as a homeless outreacher, my job is first and foremost to go out in the community. I spend about half my time out in encampments and shelters and green spaces and just wherever unhoused people are, bringing them supplies, bringing them survival supplies, tending to survival consistently, because at its core, homelessness is a crisis. And the first and foremost thing we need to do is to make sure that people are able to survive that crisis for another day. And by showing up with consistency as a homeless outreacher to the same camps, to the same shelters, to the same spots, wherever they are, you create relationships. And
now, Jake, what's your experience with this? Where do you get your experience from?
Yeah, so I've been working in homeless services of one kind or another since about 2011. I actually came to Seattle and started working at DESC back in the day. And that work in all these different places has really inspired me and brought me to where I am now. And like my own lived experience with addiction and alcoholism and just being right on that edge, it also really inspires my work.
So as an outreacher, as you call yourself, what do you do? You're bringing supplies, but what is your ultimate goal, and how do you go about that?
Yeah, so I mean, our ultimate goal, again, is survival. We want people to be able to survive this crisis of homelessness. And so we're showing up consistently and showing up in a way that builds relationships. And then we're using those relationships to get them to the Community Resource Center at St. Vincent de Paul, which is where I spend the other half of my time. And once there's many other people that can build and reconnect, right? Because like homelessness is this societal loss of connection, right? Like nobody wants to be homeless. Like folks have been cast out. So step one is tending to survival to keep folks alive, and step two is creating relationships. And then step three that happens every day at the Community Resource Center is accompaniment. Like we're going to listen to what folks want, what their goals are, and walk with them in that goal attainment, which is ultimately housing usually.
You are listening to Jake Now, the outreach manager from St. Vincent de Paul, an advocate for the homeless. And you just mentioned something in your answer, and you said they don't want to be there. I think that there are some segments of the population that are truly convinced that a lot of the folks who are unhoused are choosing drugs and being out in these encampments because they want to use them as fronts for criminal activity. And this is a choice that they're making versus what you described as most of the people who are there don't want to be there. Correct. I mean, basically, what do you see in your experience?
Yeah, I mean, thank you for bringing that up. I think like a lot of these narratives, like there's a kernel of truth in there, right? Like people do choose to be homeless. I'm gonna say that. And I've yet to meet the person who wants to be homeless. Like people choose homelessness when there's not a better choice, and that's on us. Some of what really has informed my work is I worked at the Beacon Young Adult Shelter for years, and that's a concept that you can understand with kids, especially, right? Young adults choose homelessness when their home life ain't safe, when there's an abuser in the house, when their gender identity or sexual orientation isn't respected and brings them harm within their house, right? When they're not seen, that's when they choose homelessness, when there's not a better choice. They don't want to be. They sure as hell don't want to be on the street. I've yet to meet the homeless person that's like, this is exactly where I want to be, right here. Right?
You know, Jake, in talking to you, and full disclosure, I know Jake outside of here. I love talking to you about this topic because you say things that, and even though Ursula and I, we talk about this topic, you say things to me that I've never thought about. And one of the things that you recently said to me, and I want you to kind of explain that, is you were talking about what happens when those go for treatment for substance abuse, right? And when they go for treatment, you said it is not a good idea for someone to go to treatment in the same area in which they were potentially unhoused. And one of the reasons, because they come out and they have an opportunity to meet up again with their dealer or their environment. Can you talk about that topic for us and probably better explain it than I just did?
I mean, you just did a pretty good job, G.
Oh, thank you, bro.
Yeah, so every outreacher kind of has their own way that they do substance use services and I think we were talking about detox, and we were talking about when somebody comes to you and says, hey, I'm ready to get clean, man. I need to get off these streets. I need to get somewhere. Step one is often detox, and there's multiple detox options. And for me, one of the things that determines where I'm going to take someone is where they're at currently, because one of the better detox facilities in Tacoma is in downtown Tacoma, and if that person lives in a camp three blocks away, detox, you can walk in and you can walk out. So if putting somebody in detox in a place where they can, at day 2 when it's getting really hard and really painful, where they can just walk out that door and go back to their plug, it's not often successful.
It's a very short window of opportunity, as I understand it, right? To basically get someone when they are ready to actually get help. And we've talked about the shortage of beds, the shortage of resources when it comes to detox and trying to get that help.
Yeah, that's one of the harder things about this job for sure, is as somebody with the lived experience of addiction in my past, I knew it took me multiple tries, and I knew it happened to be just the right set of circumstances, just that window, right? And all the time I'll have people that I've gotten to know through relationships that we've gotten to know who say, hey, today's the day, man, I'm ready to go. And then you have to figure out if there's a detox bed open. You have to figure out if that detox bed is going to lead to treatment, because not all of them do. Some of them spit you right back out to the street. You got to figure out, they're exactly what you're saying. There's this small window. It's not as simple as just A and B.
Real quick, Jake, you just said something. You said some of these places spit you back out to the streets. Can you explain that more? Because I know a lot of us, we don't know that side of it. So explain what you mean by spit you back out to the streets.
Yeah, I would say homeless services, behavioral health services, they're like anything else. There's some that are better than others. And so it's good to have a working knowledge of places that are going to work with people in a way that inspires trust and treats with respect and treats people with the dignity that they deserve, and that it's going to be patient. And the other places who have a quick hook, which means, you have this line, this line, this line, and if you cross over this line, out the door you go, right? And that holds true in shelter situations, that holds true in treatment situations, that holds true in rapid rehousing situations.
So what are we getting wrong? Because as I mentioned before introducing you, in Washington, it's estimated, at least it was a 2024 estimate, that 31,000 people are unhoused in Washington. We are third highest in the U.S. compared, to the rest of the country. So we have a high unhoused population. We know about the cost of living here. We're spending more and more money, and it seems like the problem is getting worse. It's such a complex issue, and I know that there's not one answer, but if you had a magic wand and you could say, we need to be doing more of this, what is that?
I would say two things. I would say, first off, I'm in Tacoma. That's where I spend most of our time. Our sweep policies are straight up draconian. It is.
Your what?
Our sweep policies.
Oh, the sweeping.
Yeah,
of the way, encampments. You said it's draconian?
Yeah, the way encampments get swept and then pushed out. It interrupts what outreachers can do, because you show up one day and your folks are there, and you show up the next day and your people's gone, right? And it also it does another thing too, which is probably more insidious, in that we're telling people to go away. One of the worst things about being homeless is everywhere you go, someone's going to show up and tell you to leave, right? They're going to tell you to go away. And by having these sweeps over and over again and not having a place where folks can go, what you're saying is you're dehumanizing people every day. And that sweeps, the way we do sweeps is insane to me. And the fact that it is not producing the results that we think it should is real. It is not producing the results that it should.
Is the best case scenario of the results is just that, so that people don't see that particular encampment? Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and sweep this. It's gone, and move it elsewhere. And so people think the problem is, and then has been there for a few months, and then they sweep that again.
For real. Sometimes 2 blocks away. Sometimes it moves 2 blocks. And that's exactly it. Sweeps aren't happening to help unhoused people. Sweeps are happening because poor people are bothering housed people. That's why sweeps happen.
Whoa. Okay. Let's go this. Because Ursula and I, we talk about this all the time, about the main causes for homelessness. So I'm going to ask you, as someone who has been in this for a long time, working with it, you admit it to everyone that your addiction and substance abuse situations that you've had. Is the main reason for homelessness, is it drugs? Is it mental health or is it housing costs?
I mean, I'm in Seattle, so I'm going to quote Daniel Malone. You can't talk about homelessness without talking about housing. Like there's not adequate housing, and this isn't a usable space issue, right? Or this isn't a space issue. This is how we are using our spaces issue. And then secondly, I would say, like it's a lack of social capital. It's not like there's definitely folks who use substances and then end up on the streets. I know way more people who end up on the streets and then use substances, right? So
why is that?
I mean, when you're, and again, like I'm really informed by working with young people. Really terrible stuff happens when you're outside. A lot of folks are afraid of homeless folks and think like that's the danger. Like they're actually in way more danger. Like the numbers back that up, right? They're way more likely to be victimized and be the victim in a crime, are the folks who are living outside. And so there's this thing that happens, right? When you're outside and you're not allowed to be anywhere and you can't get in a shelter space, it pays to stay up at night, right? It pays to be awake at night because that's going to keep you safer. And you can only do that as a human for so many days before you can't do it no more. So like there's definitely folks I know who have started using as a result of keeping themselves safe. Like there's another side effect of those drugs that'll keep you up at night is they make you feel pretty strong. Like so like there's definitely that I've seen. And then there's definitely like the side of just hopelessness, the side of being told you are not wanted over and over again. That'll cause a person to sometimes hear shit enough times you start to believe it.
So I appreciate your honesty, and unfortunately we are running out of time, but I do need to ask because there is a big debate, and you talked about the lack of housing, and there's a big debate between do we create more temporary housing to get the unhoused off the streets and until they can get into permanent housing and get clean and get sober and get the mental health, or and use whether it's not tent cities, but the tiny villages versus waiting until you build the permanent housing, which of course is much more expensive and takes longer. I mean, do you think that plays into some of this as well? We're seeing so many people and more people every year being on the streets?
Yeah.
I mean, that is one of the big debates, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
would you be in favor of having more of the temporary shelter to get them out?
Yeah. I mean, again, like with the sweep policies in Tacoma, we're telling people to go away all the time without having adequate shelter spaces for those folks. And yeah, you need more permanent supportive housing. You absolutely need that component. And in the meantime, we can't tell people to just get off our lawn.
We got about 30 seconds left. I want to, in this last part, about you are the outreach manager for St. Vincent de Paul down there in Tacoma. Your job is to go out there, and as an outreacher, if you will, is to do your best to try to bring them to services like St. Vincent de Paul. In about 20 seconds, can you just really explain how important the work is at St. Vincent de Paul down in Tacoma, how important it is that they're doing?
Yeah, that community resource center has Spanish-speaking and other case managers. There's a multitude of other case managers that are bringing a whole lot of experience, a whole lot of programming, and a whole lot of opportunity to meet people where they're at and get them to their next step. Everyone's got their own expertise, and you're going to find it there. And the way you're treated with dignity and respect inspires people to keep coming back until they get their needs met.
Good stuff. Ursula, at the Resource Center, one of the things that stood out to me is they actually had dog food and dog biscuits.
Well, and
you know what I'm saying?
Yes, I absolutely do, because so many of the folks who are unhoused do have companions.
Yeah.
Four-legged companions.
Yeah.
Jay, thank you so much for joining us, really. I mean, we could talk about this much longer. It's such a complex issue, but I think you opened some eyes today, and thank you.
I appreciate y'all having me.
All right, coming up next. All right, now we're going to do scenarios. So some of y'all be trying to pretend like this ain't your favorite segment. It is. We'll do it next. Gee Ursula.
This hour is brought to you by DUI Heroes.
This week's First Mark Challenge victory, well, it goes to Mike. Hey, Mike, why did you call First Mark Insurance?
My wife and I moved here from New York City and found this great guy. It got pricey, but because he was good to us over the years, we stayed loyal to him. But then one day I got an increase that was quite unacceptable. So I made one phone call. I didn't do any shopping. My wife told me to call First Mark.
Mike, were they able to save you and your family money?
Oh, yes. It was over $100 a month.
What would you tell others they can expect when they call First Mark?
The most competitive pricing that you can find. And they had terrific customer service. Even if you're on the phone with them, you can tell they have a smile on their face, so you can tell they love what they're doing.
Do you wish you would have made that call earlier?
I was just kicking myself as you were speaking because I didn't do it sooner.
Well, you just heard. Mike did it. My family did it. You got to do it too. It's totally free. Take the First Mark Challenge. See how much they can save you and how much better your coverage will get. Maybe you will be our next First Mark Challenge victory. Just go to firstmarkinsurance.com. That's firstmarkinsurance.com.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. SkillBridge and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed the musty smell in your home? I hope not, because damp smells mean that you could have a crawl space problem. That's where Groundworks comes in. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to waterproof your crawl space and get to the root cause of the problem. Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Looking for high-quality assisted living that won't drain your life savings? At Care Partners Living, we offer compassionate care at a price that helps stretch and preserve your estate. No unnecessary luxury, just the support you need with dignity and heart. And if you ever need to convert to Medicaid, you don't have to move. With communities across Washington and Arizona, including new locations in Port Orchard, Sumner, Linwood, and North Creek Bothell, there's a Care Partners community near you. Care Partners Living, compassionate care and peace of mind. Visit carepartnersliving.com.
Need a new roof but not in the budget? A new roof doesn't have to break the bank. Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors here. Right now, State Roofing and Exteriors is offering 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for up to 24 months. That's 2 years with no payments while getting the protection your home deserves. But this offer won't last forever. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today to get on our summer schedule now. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
Your new beginning starts now. D.R. Horton has new construction homes available throughout the greater Seattle area. With spacious floor plans, flexible living spaces, and home technology packages, you can enjoy more cozy moments and sweet memories in your beautiful new home. With new home communities opening throughout the Seattle area, D.R. Horton has the ideal home for you. Visit drhorton.com to learn more. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
If you've got a gas-powered engine, keep it running like new at every fill-up. Stable in-season protection is your engine's preventative medicine, cleaning and protecting the entire fuel system in season. In outdoor power equipment, prevent gum and varnish buildup that could cause a rough or non-running engine. For cars and trucks, increase fuel efficiency and power by removing deposits, ensuring your engine's long-term health. Stable outperforms the competition in independent lab testing. So at every fill-up, start with Stable.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter Get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
People matter isn't just a saying at Harnish Auto Family. It's how they do business. For over 40 years, they've built a stellar reputation on trust, respect, and great deals. Visit HarnishAutoFamily.com to find your next car. Harnish Auto Family. People matter.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. A man accused of shooting his domestic partner in Seattle's Madison Park neighborhood this morning is dead. Live to KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey at the scene. Luke.
Heather, investigators will now determine if that suspect died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound or if he was shot by a Seattle police officer. Just before 5 a.m., 3 officers responded to a domestic violence 911 call here. That female victim ran into those officers' arms, literally ran into their arms after escaping that house. The suspect then fired at police, and one officer returned fire. Hours after failed attempts to negotiate with that suspect, a robot went into the house, police say, to move furniture the suspect tossed around, and a SWAT team followed. Chief Sean Barnes says the suspect has a history of violence. The 53-year-old did time for a double homicide at one. The victim was shot in the back. He says she is in stable condition. Live in Seattle, Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
There was a second officer-involved shooting in Seattle this morning, also involving a domestic violence suspect. It happened in the Rainier Valley neighborhood. The suspect shot at police who fired back. No one injured by gunfire in this case. This neighbor heard the shots and says he stayed put.
No. I wasn't getting in the middle of none of that.
Police say the suspect tried to escape, jumping into Lake Washington, but he eventually gave himself up. The latest on the escalating conflict between Israel and Iran. Both hit targets in each other's countries today. The U.S. has held off direct involvement in the attacks, but the Trump administration is telling Iran to dismantle a secure nuclear site at Fordo. CBS's Ed O'Keefe.
If they don't take the deal today, if they continue to sort of string along the United States, it's more likely then that by July 4th, the president's going to make a decision one way or the other that could involve potentially joining Israel in these military attacks.
The summer solstice arrives tonight with much of our nation sweltering under triple-digit temperatures. This boy is at a summer camp in South Dakota.
It's about to be 108. My mom's picking me up early.
About 100 million Americans are under heat alerts. Not so in the Puget Sound region, which is apparently celebrating January. Meteorologist Dustin Guy.
Well, we've got a really broad area of low pressure just off to our northwest as we speak over the offshore waters. That's going to basically move on shore during the day tomorrow and gradually kind of drag through us into Saturday and Saturday evening. Finally, it'll get east of us by Sunday.
The heaviest showers should arrive tonight through late morning tomorrow. On Wall Street, the Dow is up 45 points, NASDAQ down 62. From the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Desk in Renton, a disabled vehicle is blocking a lane on I-405 near Northeast 44th Street. In Seattle, a crash is blocking at least one lane on I-5 southbound at Northgate Way. You are backed up to nearly 145th Street. Travel time Everett to Seattle is now 43 minutes. That's about 10 longer than typical. You're also slow along JBLM southbound on I-5. Travel time Tacoma to Olympia, an hour and 10 minutes. That's 20 longer than usual. Traffic brought to you by Seattle Sports. Search Seattle Sports on YouTube and click subscribe to get fresh video content daily. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Cloudy skies today with a few showers and highs around 60. It's 58 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario?
This scenario's is a doozy. Buckle up, for real. Here we go. My girl and I live in an upscale apartment. She's a lawyer, and I have a startup business. One evening, we came home, and a man was in the apartment lobby. It turns out it's my girl's ex-boyfriend. They were engaged, but broke up when he was sentenced to prison. This was before we got together. He was sentenced to 20 years in prison, and before he went to prison, she told him that she would not wait for him, but if she was available when he got out, they would get back together. Well, he's out for good behavior and free just 5 years later. He claims they had a pact that has made it clear that he intends to collect his prize. I had no idea about this part of her past. She did admit that they have stayed in touch. She didn't think that he would be released. He claims she never mentioned me. I asked, has she mentioned me? She didn't think there was really a point to talk about me to him. And then I told you that she is an attorney. It has been her that has been giving him advice all while he's been in prison through letters. I feel like she's been lying to me. She says she doesn't want to lose me. He says he's taking back what's his. And he's not exactly a friendly sit down and talk about it dude. I don't want to be in competition with this guy or any other guy. And I sure don't want to be on his hit list. I like this girl and I love our relationship. I don't want to lose her, but I don't know if it's worth it. What should I do? 888-973-5476. Ursula, you up the bat first.
They aren't even married yet?
Nope.
Run fast. She's been lying to you. She's been lying by omission. These are big, fat details that she should have been sharing with you if you were in some kind of committed relationship. And, now you're dealing with this. Are you kidding me? And if he's been, out now on good behavior and is there to collect his prize, I mean, he sounds like,
what is that?
What does that even mean? Like, things change over a few years, and after any promises made before you went to prison, don't count on them being promises that are kept.
Yeah.
Unless she said that the whole time she was corresponding with him while in prison. So, I'm sorry. If I'm him, I'm out.
Hey, look, I just cringe. I don't know if you guys can see me on the video. Listen, y'all.
Oh, my gosh.
Listen. If your significant other is writing letters to someone in prison and you don't know about it, no, wait. Do you know and understand a connection that has to be had to have correspondence through letters and you not tell the other person? Bruh, run. Next thing, anybody that comes out of prison and says, I'm here to collect my prize, just believe it. Just believe it.
Yeah, he already went to prison once.
Somebody that says, I'm here to collect my prize is playing no games. Yeah. And if anybody thinks that, yes, that's absolutely, you don't say things like that. But I'm not arguing or fighting with that dude.
What, you're supposed to just be automatically terrified of anyone who's been to jail? Is that what you're saying?
That's not what I said. What I said was, as someone who comes out of any situation and says, I'm here to collect my prize,
right.
Run, dude.
I'm here for my bounty and my booty.
Yeah. Okay, here's a question, though, for both of you. Okay, let's just take that kind of scenario would not happen to the vast majority of our listeners right now. But how about this other scenario? Let's just change it up a little bit. Do you think if you are dating somebody and that person has been corresponding with the ex and not telling you?
Yeah, no, they're just minding time.
Get out.
Right?
Thank you.
And
they're just floating along with you.
And she does.
Exactly.
And that person does not rock with you. You are not their person. Because if you were their person, they would tell you.
Yes.
They would tell you.
And they would just cut off all connection with anybody else. They're trying to play two situations, see what's going to come out and come up better.
Yeah. Can I make a controversial sweeping statement? Remember how it used to be immoral to live together as couples? Well, there is a big downside to so many couples that live together, and that is the fact that a lot of relationships last way, way longer than they should, because it makes it so hard to break apart, right? If you got to come up with $8,000 to get into a new place, you got to uproot your whole life. It's hard to get out of a relationship once you move in with somebody. Seriously, and she's just been hanging with you, right? It's easy to float in that state when you're living together, and she's just been floating along with you, minding her time, and he's out now, so I'd bounce too.
I want to, Market Olympia, you just said there's, hold on, there's no scenario and system where someone gets sentenced to 20 years and they only do 5 years for good behavior. that happens. Not on Fed cases, but some state cases, yes, that can happen. Not Fed. Fed, you're doing the percentage of your sentence. But, I mean, it happens. Not usual, but it can happen where you serve 5 hard years. Hey, Ursula, I'm like this whole thing that you just said, the corresponding with any exes, like, okay, it's cool as long as your significant other knows. If they know about it, that's cool. That's respect.
I'm still questioning, like, why are you keeping that connection?
Wait a minute. There's been times on the Gee and Ursula Show that I have come out and been like, because there's people that says, hey, yeah, my ex my significant other goes out to lunch with his ex they go to lunch. And I just be like, okay, that ain't how I rock in my household. Because my thing is if you guys are exes and you're still friends and hanging out, then why y'all split up?
Go hang out all 3 of you.
Yeah, no thanks.
Right?
I don't want that either. I don't want none of that.
I mean, I guess this guy's only other option is to provoke the guy into assaulting him and press charges and send his butt back to jail. But I'd run.
Yeah, run. I think we all got the same. Run.
Yeah. Man. Whew.
Look at that. We're at the end of the show.
Yeah. Oh, come on now. All right. Hey, your text messages, feedback, and then we'll have Ursula's words to live by. Gee and Ursula.
You listen to Seattle's morning news every morning. What do Charlie and Manda listen to every afternoon?
I absolutely love listening to John Curley because he makes you think, which I love.
John has a real special talent in being able to talk about the topics we care about, but he's always trying to make it fun. You're going, oh, this guy actually gets it.
The John Curley Show, weekdays 3 to 7. Watch The John Curley Show live on YouTube or the KIRO Newsradio App.
Hey, it's Mike Rohn. If I have a choice, I like to do business with companies that actually stand for something. That's why I switched from Verizon to Pure Talk. No offense to Verizon, I'm sure they stand for something. I just don't know what it is. Pure Talk, on the other hand, is a veteran-owned company that supports our military in a big way, and I appreciate that. Yeah, I also appreciate unlimited talk and text and plenty of data for half the cost of the big guys. And I do like being on America's most dependable 5G network for just $20 a month. But what I really appreciate is no contract, no cancellation fees, and Pure Talk's commitment to handle all their customer service in this country. I saw it for myself. I went to Georgia, I got a tour of their headquarters, I met their CEO, and I talked to the same customer service folks that you'll talk to when you dial pound 250 and say keyword Mike Rowe. Switch today and save 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say keyword Mike Rowe. Pure Talk. A wireless company that actually stands for something.
If you've got a gas-powered engine, keep it running like new at every fill-up. Stable in-season protection is your engine's preventative medicine, cleaning and protecting the entire fuel system in season. In outdoor power equipment, prevent gum and varnish buildup that could cause a rough or non-running engine. For cars and trucks, increase fuel efficiency and power by removing deposits, ensuring your engine's long-term health. Stable outperforms the competition in independent lab testing. So at every fill-up, start with Stable.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime. We're not here to be the biggest. We're here to bring you something we believe is better. Our plans start at just $20. You'll get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
It's Olympic Hot Tubs Mid-Year Clearance Spectacular, June 28th and 29th from 9 to 6 at our Auburn warehouse. You'll find incredible savings on one-of-a-kind saltwater and pre-owned tubs, swim spas, and saunas. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
If you want that summer body you've always dreamed of, then this message is for you, ladies, and you men too. Get rid of extra stubborn fat and address areas of loose skin around the waistline, chin, and under the upper arms with ProSculpt, the new one-day instant permanent fat removal and skin tightening treatment. Maybe you've tried the lasers, fat freezing methods, even those new pills, but without the desired results. ProSculpt is different. It's minimally invasive, performed while fully aware awake, gentle, yet powerful. Designed to target the waistline, chin, neck, arms, and thighs, ProSculpt uses FDA-cleared plasma technology to deliver immediate, permanent fat-reducing and skin-tightening results, all in just one visit. If you want that summer body this summer, then you must act now. Go to ProSculpt.com today to schedule your free consultation. Get $250 off. For instant, permanent fat reduction and skin tightening, visit ProSculpt.com.
Guys, want long-term health you can count on? It starts with knowing your numbers. This June, for Men's Health Month, Revive Seattle is offering a free comprehensive wellness panel, a $400 value, including testosterone, blood sugar, heart health, and more. Take control of your health today and stay strong for the long haul. Offer ends June 30th. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com today.
Experience the thrill of seeing orcas and humpback whales with Puget Sound Express. Join their family-run tours for guaranteed whale sightings, departing daily from Edmonds. These are Seattle's most popular and well-reviewed whale tours. Book now at PugetSoundExpress.com. I've got to get a new car, and things are crazy right now. 1 minute costs are up, the next minute it's something new.
Go to Subaru Puyallup. Their stress-free promises never changed. Through natural disasters, supply hiccups, you name it.
So they're still holding today's prices?
Yeah, they have over 300 Subarus still at current rates and guaranteed stress-free pricing and trade-ins. You should get in now.
I really need to swing by there. Want to go with?
Let's go.
Secure today's pricing on tomorrow's car at Subaru Puyallup, your stress-free dealership.
Here in the Pacific Northwest, windows can be one of the best investments you can make to add value to your home. At Dunn Lumber, we have designated Marvin window specialists who have been trained by Marvin to best serve your needs. If you need help finding the right windows for your home, come by one of our 4 Dunn Lumber window showrooms or reach out to me personally, Mike Dunn at DunnLumber.com.
Dunn Lumber, building success together.
Over 400 tariff-free new Kias are available now at Kia of Everett. With easy lease and financing options, experience simple, easy, fun at Kia of Everett today.
Spike O'Neill here. Sharp Vision Modern LASIK and Lens gave me back the perfect vision I had up until a few years ago. Now, never need glasses again. Never developed cataracts. Been about 6 months since my RLE surgery. My vision is better than it's ever been in my life. Sharp Vision Modern LASIK and Lens, privately owned, no corporate shareholders or boardrooms. Dr. Sharp built his business on the principle of always strive to overaccomplish, never overprice. Call 425-451-2020 or go online to sharp-vision.com. That's sharp with an e-vision.com. Official eye care providers of Sounders FC.
It's the Gee and Ursula Show. Ursula, before we get to the text messages, you know, every chance that I get, I'm always showing love to Lewis County. Remember, that's why every chance I get, yesterday, I want to give love to Lewis County PUD, stands for Public Utility District. I got an opportunity to speak to their entire, place and their workers and everything. The nicest folks in the world, Lewis County PUD. I just want y'all to know how much love I have for y'all. Lewis County, you always showing a brother love when he come down. And by the way,
we're talking about Chehalis and Tralia in that area.
Come on, man.
Speaking of Lewis County,
so it's a great place to stop.
They took apart the Uncle Sam sign this morning.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
Wow. Okay.
Wow. And Ursula, they had some food.
Yeah,
right?
really good food.
And that's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about the differences in events in Seattle and/or in rural areas.
Okay, so what kind of food did they have?
Ribs, brisket,
favorite.
macaroni and cheese, scalloped potatoes, dinner rolls. Now, I get it at these other events where it's like, ta-ta. Let me have a small little salmon, little scrimp, and let me have a little scallop, and here's a little piece of halibut right here. Nah, they get right down to the nitty-gritty. So anyway, Lewis County, love y'all. All right, Ursula, what you got?
I love it. Okay, so this was the first time we had a chance to speak with the interview with the attorney of Lee Keller, who was responding to King County Assessor John Wilson's claims. Kara, the cleaning lady, says, after listening to her attorney, I've had a change of heart. I was giving him the benefit of the doubt, but not anymore.
Tammy in the 360 says, it took me 27 years, 28 if you count dating, to break free of my marriage, where the domestic violence started 2 months before we got married. It's very difficult. They convince you that you need them if you're going to be happy.
What corporations and sports teams celebrated Juneteenth? 425 says, I'd like for y'all to know that the Seattle Storm celebrated Juneteenth. They even had T-shirts celebrating Juneteenth. They spoke of it on their Facebook page, on their webpage, and at their basketball games. See, again, that is an organization that is truly committed, whether it's popular or not.
Can I just say this? The Seattle Storm and the WNBA, there's nobody. The WNBA are the leaders in discussing social issues that plague our country. There's no sports franchises or entities that comes close. So in Seattle, the Seattle Storm is number one.
And they understand the struggle.
Now, all right. Allergies whipping up on G and long live Mark. Sarah from the 509 says, I'm with you. My coworkers are sick of me sneezing. I'm like, I can't help it.
Irene from Tacoma says, hey, G, what's that potty thing again?
What is it? Wait a minute. My brain, is it hot potty?
No.
Is it potty pot? Potty pot?
You're learning something new and I'm learning something new today.
No, I'm not even going to correct you.
It's neti pot. It's neti pot. And now I understand the whole cookie thing. And your brain, G, the things that I have to put up with. I could say something as innocent as a cookie, and I'm just like, geez. You get into a fit of laughter, then I got to look up. Okay, keep going.
Those cookies have no adornment.
I know. It is summer. I'm going to help you. It is officially summer at 7:42 tonight.
It is. How many kids are too many kids? Brooke in the 425 says one is too many.
Wait, Martha and Everett had something to say about summer starting. She says, 68-year-old Seattle native, heat's cranked up, sweater still on. Growing up here turned me into a weather pessimist. May is glorious, but the moment school's out, hello, June gloom.
Oh.
Hey, Dave, one of our listeners, fact-checked me about the summer of 1993, and he said, Ursula, great memory. You're correct. That was one of our worst summers. Yes, I remember it well. Yes.
All right, you know what? Let's get in early. Ursula, let's get to your good old words to live by. What you got?
I know that there is someone who could use these words. You can be kind and still establish firm boundaries, appear messy, prioritize your needs, walk away from toxic relationships, express strong opinions, make your disagreements known, say no thanks, and that's not going to work for me, and only share your story only when you feel safe.
Yeah, if you guys listen to the Gee and Ursula show today, you would know that words to live by was powerful.
And inspired by some of the discussion we had today.
Yep, no doubt about it. All right, it's Friday, y'all. 7:42. It's going to be summertime. Ian, is it your Friday or do you work this weekend?
I work tomorrow. Just a little bit, though. Just a little bit, like 3 hours on the weekend. Not too bad.
I just wanted to shout out to Nick, to Ian because he's been filling in for Nick.
Yep.
Yesterday and today, and you just came in smooth as butter.
Thank you.
And just really provided great music, and I just want to say thank you.
Appreciate that. We had a fun show.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna let you off that easy, Ian. Ian, you do a lot of shows here. We're gonna put you on the spot, bro. Which show is your favorite to work on? No, just appease it. If it's the sports station, it's fine. What's your favorite show?
This is my favorite FM show. How's that?
Oh, there you go. See?
This is the best show on this station, by far.
To work with. You know, everyone's got their different opinions. Yeah, just so for you joining us, yeah. Appreciate that. Gee, you just put him on the spot.
I know.
He's going to have to...
That means he likes the sports side.
Yeah, he does.
Better than us.
He likes us best here.
You asked.
Yes, exactly. And
you
know
just
what?
don't like the answer. That's your own fault.
That's what I'm saying.
That is so perfect.
Ian, you know what that was, bro?
Don't let G bully you into an answer
that was, man. That was, hey, baby, do I look fat in these jeans? And how are you supposed to answer that, chef? If they ask you if I look fat in these jeans, what do you say?
No.
Your jeans are interesting.
The Jake and Spike show comes in next. Just so you all know, we got Rockstar Greg. We got Greg coming in, and we also have Angela Poe Russell will be in coming up next. Ursula, thank you. Chef, thank you. Ian, thank you. We appreciate you for listening. Love you for that. And as always, be kind.
Hope you had as much fun as we have. So long, everybody.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten. Classics are remixed. Bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
It's a fact. When your eyes work correctly, light focuses through both your cornea and your lens to give you high-quality vision. Hi, it's Dr. Kopstein from K2 Vision. Here's another fact. As we near age 50, we begin to lose the quality and function of our natural lens. That's when we start to reach for reading glasses and contemplate those cataracts on the horizon, typically in our 70s or later, but inevitable if we get old enough. Fortunately, K2 Vision has the advanced permanent solution for both, refractive lens exchange, or RLE. K2 Vision RLE is a quick, painless procedure that restores distance and near vision permanently. Plus, another thing is permanent. You will never develop a cataract. After over 20 years replacing over 100,000 failing lenses, we will help you determine when it's your right time for RLE. Go to k2visionrle.com and schedule a free Zoom consultation today. K2 Vision RLE. No glasses, no contacts, no readers. Permanently.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
What burning questions do you have? You can help drive the conversation by going to mynorthwest.com or text Choke Points to 888-973-5476.
Tuesdays and Thursdays on Seattle's Morning News.
Well, this week's First Mark Challenge victory goes to Norm. Norm, why did you call First Mark Insurance?
Spending too much money on insurance, and it just kept on going up higher and higher and higher. And this last time I did the First Mark Challenge.
So they were able to save you some money, Norm?